On a beautiful morning in a luxurious apartment building, Yuto's voice rang out full of frustration. Auntie, we've already discussed this. The betrothal gift is 200,000, along with a deposit for a 120 square meter house, totaling $2 million. With a pile of gifts on the table, he still tried to persuade her. I've known Masa since high school. I've saved this money for 11 years. Now you want 800,000, I really can't afford it anymore. In front of him was Kawasaki Tammy, Masa's mother. She cleared her throat and argued, young man, what are you talking about? As if I'm selling my daughter. Pointing to Masa standing next to her, she continued, let me tell you, I only have one precious daughter. Asking you to give more betrothal gifts is to see if you are sincere with my daughter. Masa's stepfather, Korosuke Yoshio, sat beside him, took a puff of his cigarette, and chimed in, Yuto, I heard that when your father passed away, he left you a house in a pretty good location. It just so happens that Masa's cousin is about to go to school. How about I discuss with his father, you sell that house to them? Wouldn't that give you the money? Yuto panicked and hurriedly waved his hand. Uncle, that house was allocated to my father by the unit. It can't be sold. Hearing this, Kawasaki Tammy immediately became furious, pointing at him. How can it not be sold? I think you just don't want to sell it. Masa stood beside him worriedly, pulling her mother's hand. Mom, don't be angry. I'll talk to Yuto more. She gently walked over and waved for Yuto to follow her. The two left the apartment and went downstairs. Masa lowered her voice and persuaded Yuto. Just listen to my mother. You have 800,000, don't you? Yuto gave a wry smile, his eyes showing helplessness. Masa, you know my family's situation. I've saved this more than $2 million for years. I really can't get any more. Masa suddenly turned away, her voice full of reproach. Do you want to marry me or not? You can't even handle this much. You can just borrow. There are so many online loan platforms now. Yuto gritted his teeth and forced a smile. All right, give me some time. I'll go borrow the money right away. Wait for me. After saying that, he turned and ran away. I'll go get the money right away and bring you home soon. Masa smiled with satisfaction and waved. That's more like it. Hurry up and go. At the cafe, a colleague approached Yuto and curiously asked, Yuto, having lunch this late? You're really daring. He forced a smile. No choice. I'm really broke lately. Just then, a familiar voice came from the next table, attracting his attention. Masa, I heard you're getting married soon. Masa raised her eyebrows, her voice full of displeasure. Why, aren't you going to give me a wedding gift? Even if you're my best friend, you can't give too little. Her friend widened her eyes in surprise and laughed mockingly. You're with a rich guy now, and you still care about these small amounts of money. Isn't the person you're marrying that rich guy from last time? Hearing this, Masa became angry and frustrated. That guy is such scum. After sleeping with me, he turned his back, pretended nothing happened, threw me 50,000 and told me not to bother him anymore. Does he think I'm a beggar with that much money? Her friend was shocked. Then who are you marrying? Is it that lovesick guy? Masa stirred her coffee, smugly. Who else? A few days ago, I found out I'm over a month pregnant. It's just right to find someone to take care of it. After giving birth and raising the child for a bit, I'll go find that guy and demand a share of his assets. Yuto heard everything. He was so shocked that he stood up and slammed the table. Masa noticed the commotion and turned around. Waiter, pour us some water over here. We've been sitting here for a while, and no one has poured us any water. There are really people who are only fit to be waiters for their entire lives. He pulled his hat down to cover his face. She angrily said, Are you mute? Can't you even speak? What kind of service is this? Yuto quickly left, ignoring her threats, not even going to answer. Fine, I'll file a complaint later and see if you lose your job. In the staff break room, he slumped down and sobbed. A phone call interrupted his thoughts. Yuto, Soki is about to start school. Remember to pick her up at the airport. He immediately replied, Yes, I'll go right away. Yuto took off his uniform and went to take a shower. He shouted angrily, Money, money, it's all because of money. Suddenly, a mechanical voice rang out. detected the host's thoughts. Rage level reached maximum. Proceeding to resolve the issue for the host, reforming the world. All assets and prices in the world have been devalued by 1 million times. The host's assets in the system bank are unaffected. The system bank will calculate an annual interest rate of 10%, distributing to $156 daily. He looked around in panic. What the hell is this? Who's talking? Yuto grabbed his clothes and told himself, forget it, it's probably because I've been under too much pressure lately, so I'm hallucinating. He went out and caught a bus. At the door, he asked the driver, how much to the airport? Everyone on the bus laughed. Just a few dollars. Kid, you must still be dreaming, right? One person mocked, you want to haggle over a few dollars. Stop daydreaming. Those stories about winning the lottery and becoming rich overnight, like on TV or in novels, are all fake. The person next to him chimed in, that's right. Just work hard, maybe you'll find a job that pays 2 cents a month. He looked around in confusion. What's wrong with everyone today? Doesn't it only cost $2 or $3 to take the bus? Did I ask anything wrong? Yuto turned to the driver and asked again, driver, just tell me how many dollars. I'll pay so the next person can get on. Someone on the bus stood up and criticized, selling you wouldn't even be worth $1. Who do you think you are, the son of a tycoon in Kingyun? If you don't have money for the bus, get off. I hate loafers like you the most, all day long not working, only daydreaming. He retorted irritably, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with me asking about the bus fare? Besides, daydreaming about only a few dollars, how poor are you guys? People around him kept talking. What are you talking about? Not one nap, not 1 cent, but a few dollars. Do you know how much that is? That's right, look at his clothes. If he can take out $1, I'll swallow this whole bus. The person who had just stood up to criticize him said proudly, I think this kid is quite pitiful. Today, my car is being serviced. If you don't have money for the bus, call me uncle, and I'll give you a ride. I have nothing but a salary of 2 cents a month, but giving you 1 or 2 naps is still more than enough. Yuto looked around in a panic, not seeing any cameras. Are these people all crazy? The driver reminded him once again, do you still want to take the bus? If you're just going to waste time, then get off. Yuto hurriedly pulled out a coin, flipped it in his hand, and said, this is $1, right? It's worth 100 cents. Instantly, the other passengers' attitudes changed. A young couple exclaimed, are you kidding me? You really have $1? Amazing, I can't believe it. That's 100 cents. Someone gasped. A young man in a suit held his head in disbelief and cried out, unbelievable. How could a kid have that much money? Yuto himself was wondering, wait a second. The voice I heard while I was showering, could it have really come true? Is this the system that can change the world? He asked the driver, if I pay 100 cents, can I get on the bus? The driver gave a sheepish smile and said, if you pay me 100 cents, I'm afraid I won't have any change for you. The fare to the airport is only 10 cents. Yuto was stunned, so $1 is actually worth that much now. He glanced around at everyone on the bus and thought to himself, this is bad. What are these people scheming? I'd better pretend I don't know anything and just get off the bus. Calm down. Take it easy. Looks like I can't take this bus today. Yuto got off the bus, walking down the street in confusion. He looked at his phone, a single phone, shocking price, 1 cent, classic Lu backpack, from a specialty counter, selling price, 17 cents. He looked at the money he had, panicked. If I'd been receiving my salary in $100 bills these past few days, wouldn't I be unable to use it? I have to go to the bank. At the bank, a voice came from the loudspeaker. Number 1069, please proceed to counter number 3. The clerk greeted him warmly. How can I assist you with your transaction today? He said. I'd like to deposit some cash. She smiled and replied, certainly. How much would you like to deposit? He sat down, holding up a stack of $100 bills. Just this much, a few hundred yuan. Round it up afterwards. Please help me activate mobile banking services. I'd like to be able to make payments on my phone. The clerk was stunned, stammering, Sir, I can't make a decision on such a large amount of money. Let me call the manager for you. Each bill was carefully counted by the machine, verification successful. The manager carefully held the money. Yes, each bill is a large reserve fund and has been verified. In the VIP lounge, Yuto calmly drank water, muttering, $1 equals 100 cents. Each cent can be divided into 10 mils. That means $1 equals 1,000 mils. So, are you done checking? The manager carefully replied, Sir, your money has been counted, totaling to $171.48. Exchange some small change for me so it's easier to carry. Not much, $2 or $3 is enough, Yuto replied. The door opened and Masa walked in, arm in arm with a man old enough to be her father, constantly flattering him. Okay. Although I don't know YUTO's background, he must be the heir of a large family. Honey, our mission is accomplished, she said happily. That infatuated fool has agreed to marry me. Old Wong made an obscene gesture towards her. You'll be someone else's wife soon. Think about it, isn't it getting more and more exciting? Yuto overheard and mocked. How can it not be enjoyable to ride in someone else's car? Masa, why didn't I realize how disgusting you were before? She panicked. Yuto, why are you here? Did you come to the bank to borrow money for your betrothal gift? Masa wasn't ashamed at all. Yuto sneered. How can you say that in this situation? There's no way I'm marrying you. What did I do? Isn't it normal for a girl like me to have a boyfriend and a husband? You're blaming me. Why don't you look at yourself? Is it because you didn't give enough? Masa pointed at him. He stood up from his chair. Looking at you now makes me sick. Manager, I'm done with the procedures. Can I leave now? The manager hurriedly stopped him. Please wait a moment, sir. The bank manager knows about your situation and is on his way. Please wait a little longer. Old Wong blocked his way. Stop. Is this brat trying to run away after insulting my darling? Shouldn't you apologize first? His face darkened and he pushed the man's hand away irritably. Who are you pretending to be? Looking at your fat, big-headed, weak, kidney-deficient appearance, if I really fight you, I'm afraid you'll be kneeling on the ground begging me for mercy later. The man became furious, pointing at himself and yelling, do you know who I am? I'm the boss of Tenryu Group, a major taxpayer in Wucheng, paying several dollars in taxes every year, he continued to threaten. Believe it or not, if I just say one word, you won't be able to do anything at this bank. Two security guards saw the commotion and rushed over. Everyone, what's going on? Old Wong angrily pointed at Yuto. You're just in time. Get this brat out of here. How can a broke person like this be in the VIP room? The security guard reminded him, please respect our bank's black gold VIP customer. He was surprised. What? Manager, he hurried in. Is this Mr. Yuto? I'm the branch manager. As soon as I received the news, I rushed back immediately. I apologize for keeping you waiting. He shook his hand warmly. You deposited over $200 at our bank, making you a black gold VIP customer. Some necessary procedures must be handled directly by me. In addition, you will enjoy 24/7 premium service at our bank. Yuto politely replied, thank you, I appreciate it. Old Wang panicked. $200. How is that possible, manager? Is he using counterfeit money? Masa chimed in. That's right, he's clearly just a broke guy. He can't even afford a few dollars for the betrothal gift. Manager, he said seriously, the authority of the bank is not to be questioned. Mr. Kinoshita, you have repeatedly been disrespectful to our black gold VIP customer. Therefore, our cooperation ends here. From this moment on, our bank will no longer provide any loans to your company. Old Wang rushed over, pale, clasping his hands. No, manager. Without the loan, we won't be able to manage our capital. The company will go bankrupt. Amasa also knelt down, clinging to Yuto's arm and pleading. Yuto, I was wrong. I admit I was greedy for that bald man's money, but you know what his body is like. Only you can satisfy me. He pushed her hand away in disgust. Manager, please get all these irrelevant people out of here. Immediately, the manager ordered. Of course. Security, what are you standing there for? Old Wong was dragged away by the security guards, shouting in panic. Manager. Without the loan, I'll really go bankrupt. Yuto quickly ran to the airport. No, I spent too much time at the bank. Soki must have landed already. Could she have left without waiting for me? A hand gently patted him from behind. You bad brother. How dare you make your adorable little sister wait at the airport for dozens of minutes? He turned around happily. Soki, she pretended to be sulky. Tell me, how are you going to compensate me? He scratched his head awkwardly. I'm sorry, I was a little delayed just now. How do you want me to compensate you? I'll listen to you. She intimately held his arm and suggested. It's so hot, why don't you take me for some ice cream? Yuto happily thought to himself, does this kid still think she's a child? He said, it is quite hot. Let me see if there's anything to drink around here, then I'll take you. He pointed in another direction and suggested, let's go, Soki, I'll treat you to Starbucks. They probably don't have this in your hometown, do they? She stammered. This? Soki happily replied, no need, brother. Things at the airport are expensive. We can figure it out after we leave. Someone bumped into him, and it turned out to be Shinji Yamada's group. He spoke up, classmate Soki, it's just a cup of Starbucks. Let me treat you. Shouter Furukawa immediately teased the brother beside him. The beautiful Soki already has someone. Can't he even afford to treat her? Tomoki Nido also chimed in. This guy's whole outfit probably doesn't cost 50 cents. Asking him to buy a 30 cents Starbucks might be a bit difficult. Yuto asked Soki in confusion, do you know these people? She waved her hand. We just chatted at the airport and got to know each other. They're all freshmen at Wucheng University. She looked at them and then held his arm, walking in another direction. Let's go, brother. Don't mind them. He said in confusion. How can today's students, spending their parents' money, act so superior? Hearing this, Shinji Yamada mocked. Poor is still poor. Can't even afford a drink and dares to lecture others. Tomoki Nido also chimed in, provoking him. Forget about her, Shinji. Let's go get a drink ourselves. Sitting with her, I'm afraid the smell of poverty will rub off on us. I must post this on the freshman group to expose this weirdo. The mission panel appeared before Yuto's eyes. The system reminded him, host has activated the spending mission. Please spend $1 within 2 hours. Reward, primary strength pill. He flipped the coin in his hand and thought to himself, just in time. Tomoki intimately held Shinji's arm. Forget about these poor bastards. Let's go get a drink. She acted coquettishly. I'm thirsty. He looked at her infatuatedly. All right, I'll let you drink your fill later. A group of people rushed by, bumping into Shinji Yamada. He yelled, are you blind? The surrounding people also kept chattering. I heard Starbucks is free today. Is it real or fake? Whatever. It doesn't hurt to check it out. Shinji Yamada's group of 3 panicked. What's going on? Is it really all free? He went up to ask the staff, excuse me, is it really all free today? The staff member cheerfully replied, yes, you can consume anything without spending a penny. She pointed to Yuto standing next to him. Today, all expenses in the store are paid by this gentleman. He smiled and said to everyone, don't be polite. It's so hot, let's all drink our fill. Everyone in the airport simultaneously cheered, thank you, brother. He turned to ask Soki, how is it? Tasty. She stuck out her tongue, it's bitter. Shinji Yamada saw Yuto and was surprised, it's you? What are you up to? Yuto replied, what? Worried I'm targeting you. He walked up to him, arrogant. Don't worry, just say thank you, brother, and I'll give you some alms. Shinji Yamada angrily said, poor is still poor, spending a little money and you want to show off in front of me. He turned away and said arrogantly, seriously, do you think I'd crave this stuff? Let me tell you, in New York, even dogs don't drink these cheap chain store drinks. Everyone around him felt uncomfortable hearing his words. Yuto further provoked him. Go on, I'm listening. He pointed at Yuto angrily. Only those bumpkins who have never been abroad would treat it as a treasure. I'm not a beggar. Why should I drink your stuff? The people around couldn't stand it anymore and angrily shouted, beggar, kid, who are you cursing at? The big brother is willing to treat everyone, and you're putting on airs. Did you spend a single penny? People rushed in and punched and kicked him. That's right. Brothers, teach him a lesson. His face was swollen like a pig's head, and he turned to his friends for help. Shada, help me. Someone turned and asked them in a stern voice, so, do you know this kid? Shada and Tomoki waved their hands. No, we don't know him. Yuto walked up to him and warned, idiot. Don't think you can seduce my sister with a little dirty money. Saki walked alongside her brother and asked softly, brother, is it worth spending so much money? He said generously, your brother can still afford this much. We're not showing off our wealth, but my sister will definitely not be looked down upon by others. She said happily, brother, you're so good. At the waiting area. Host has completed the mission, please check the reward. He walked while checking the mission panel and thought, I didn't expect to buy out Starbucks' entire revenue for less than $1. He swallowed the pill. In the end, I still have to thank branch manager Fujiwara for his investment to complete the mission. Soki looked around. Brother, which car did you call? Yuto took out his phone. Let me check the license plate. Saki exclaimed admiringly. Such a cool car. The window rolled down, and Yonogi asked Yuto in surprise, what are you doing here? He calmly introduced, Director, I'm here to pick up my sister and take her to university. Soki asked in confusion, do you know this person? Director approached, Yuto, have you forgotten that we have a project presentation this afternoon? He scratched his head in surprise, right, there's that too. He pondered, although I'm not short of money now, this project is still the result of months of hard work. Seeing that her brother still had work to do, Soki comforted him. It's okay, brother. Work is important. You take care of your business first, she whispered cheerfully. Besides, don't waste the opportunity to be with a beautiful woman. He paled. What beautiful woman? This is my boss. Calling her a demon is more like it. Saying this, the woman in the car asked, what did you say? He scratched his head in embarrassment. Nothing, Director. I said I'd go back to the company with you. Yuto thought shamelessly. Anyway, I've always struggles with money, and we can't let go of small amounts of money easily. In the car, his boss reminded him, quickly review the project to avoid any mistakes later. She said cautiously, this is also good for you. After all, you have a sister to take care of, and it's time to work hard. If this project is successful, your bonus will be tens of thousands. He quickly opened the document and replied, my boss is so kind. Knowing I haven't eaten, she specially drew a big cake for me. She reached out and pinched his thigh. Are your wings hard now, daring to tease me? He panicked. Stop messing around. Watch the car. Yonogi said cheerfully and proudly, many people want to eat my big cake, but don't even have the chance. At the company office, Kawai ordered everyone to move Yuto's belongings downstairs. Come here, move all this stuff for me. He panicked. This, what are you doing? He declared arrogantly. Yuto, you're no longer part of the development department. My brother-in-law, Magaji Kawai, said this position is mine now. Yuto was annoyed and pointed down. Pick up my things. He provoked. So tough. What if I don't pick them up? He raised his hand as if to get physical with him. You little dog, want to have another go with me? Yuto grabbed his hand and twisted it, making Otoga Kasuke scream in pain. He paled, thinking to himself, what's wrong with this kid, so strong? A pair of leather shoes approached and ordered, Yuto, are you not going to let go? Kawai pointed at him angrily, you're too incompetent. Hand over the project to Otoga Kasuke, let him handle the presentation. I did everything, and now you're letting your brother-in-law take the credit. Do you have any shame? He stubbornly retorted, this is my decision. If you're not satisfied, get out. Yonogi slammed her hand on the table. I don't agree. She crossed her arms angrily. Yuto has been working on this project from the beginning. You want to replace him? No way. Kawai pointed at himself, annoyed. Yanagi, are you teaching me how to do my job? Yonogi shouted beside him, Kawai, I'm the legal representative of this company. You have no right to change my subordinates. Secondly, if you ruin this presentation, can you bear the responsibility? He was at a loss for words and pointed at her. Fine. Just you wait. He angrily left. Yonogi reminded Yuto, don't mind him. Yuto, let's continue preparing for the presentation. She quickly turned and left. Yuto thought to himself, this woman, although she seems like a demon, she's quite good to her subordinates. In the meeting room, YANAGI confidently presented her project. Director Ota, this is our entire project presentation. Akira Ota gave a thumbs up in praise. Well done. It exceeded our expectations. She happily high-fived Yuto. All right. She leaned her ample chest on his shoulder, making him a little flustered. Coach, is it a foul to dribble and bump into someone? Director Ota smiled. Then next, when Mr. Kinoshita arrives, we can start with the debt settlement. Yonogi was surprised. Debt? What debt? Kawai barged into the meeting room triumphantly. Yonogi? The company is in debt of several million, and we can't even pay salaries. You're the legal representative. How are you going to deal with this? She panicked. Debt. I've reviewed the company's accounts. There's absolutely no such thing. She recalled the time she was promoted. Yonogi, you're capable. We're old. It's time to hand over the company to you. He sneered. Yonogi, did you really believe in that so-called long-term relationship? Is what you see really the truth? Looking at the senior executives walking in, she panicked. Falsified accounts. Changed the legal representative. You've been planning to frame me all along, haven't you? Kawai laughed loudly. Who told you to be so naive? She was indignant, anger burning in her heart. I'd put all my heart and soul into this company. How could you do this? Kawai walked up to Director Ota triumphantly. To be honest with you, YANAGI, we've established a new company. We are Hugatech's partners. As for this company, Mr. Kinoshita from Hugatech has taken a liking to it and is willing to pay $100,000 to acquire all the technology and documents. Yonogi panicked. $100,000. That's not even enough to buy the equipment. This is clearly taking advantage of the opportunity. Kawai shrugged. Anyway, if you can't pay that amount, you'll go to jail. A staff member came forward and said, Mr. Kawai, Mr. Kinoshita from Hugatech Technology has arrived. When the two of them walked over, he turned around and greeted warmly, Hello, President Kinoshita, we've finally waited for your arrival. Kinoshita turned to Fujiwara and asked, It's easy for you to handle this, but who is this tycoon who deposited over $200,000 in cash that you mentioned? Can I go and say hello? Fujiwara smiled nobly. I wouldn't dare to reveal this level casually, lest I offend someone. He agreed. That's true. Seeing Yuto sitting there, he panicked. Sir, why are you here? He asked in confusion. Mr. Fujiwara. Mr. Kinoshita still didn't understand and asked again. Sir, isn't this? Fujiwara said happily. Yes. This is the gentleman you want to meet. He shook his hand excitedly. You? I'm Kinoshita, chairman of Hugatech Technology. I've admired you for a long time. I didn't expect to have the pleasure of meeting you here. Yuto politely replied, Hello, Mr. Kinoshita, Mr. Kinoshita. Kawai stood aside, scratching his head in confusion. Did you mistake him for someone else? Yuto is just an errand boy for me, he shouted angrily. Are you crazy? Does your errand boy casually deposit $200,000 in cash into the bank? He panicked. $200,000, isn't it 20 million cents? Yuto stepped forward and asked, Mr. Kinoshita, I heard you want to buy all of our company's documents for $100,000. He stammered, Your company, but I don't see your name on the shareholder list. If I had known earlier, I wouldn't have dared to interfere. Yuto said confidently, It counts from now on. Fujiwara, I'll pay off the debt, Kinoshita said. Yonogi panicked. Yuto, he continued calmly, but I have one request. He pointed at Kawai and his followers firmly. These people are suspected of falsifying accounts and colluding to transfer company assets. Mr. Fujiwara, I want you to investigate this thoroughly. Don't miss a single detail. Fujiwara pushed his glasses excitedly. Don't worry, sir, we're in charge of the audit, and we'll definitely conduct a strict investigation. Kawai panicked and stammered. No, how could this be? After that, Kawai was convicted and reported in the news. Embezzlement of public funds, tax evasion and fraud, and falsification of accounts. Yonogi poured wine excitedly. Thank you so much this time, Yuto. The two clinked glasses. Thank you for helping me protect so many years of hard work. Cheers. Yuto smiled happily. Cheers. He kindly reminded her, I'll still leave the company to you to manage, but be careful this time. Don't fall for anyone's tricks again. She was slightly drunk and said coquettishly, but I'm easily fooled. Yonogi stood up and walked towards him. Here, let me toast you again. She accidentally tripped. Yuto deftly caught her. Careful, are you okay? She said coquettishly, I think I sprained my ankle. Can you take me to the room upstairs? Yonogi said charmingly and seductively, but don't do anything weird, okay? He carried her and strode forward. Okay, no problem. Arriving at the lounge, he laid her down on the bed. Then, Director, please rest. I'll be going now. Yuto turned to leave, but the beauty hooked her leg around him. Yonogi wrapped her arms around his neck and said seductively, I think you've fallen into a trap this time. He pushed her down onto the bed. Yonogi screamed. The two spent a passionate night together. Immediately after, Yonogi pretended to cry. I ended up falling into the trap myself. Yuto sat calmly in the corner of the bed, wiping his sweat. Yonogi was not reconciled and said sulkily, You clearly look like a little puppy, but you went wild for 6 hours. Is there anyone like you? He thought to himself. It's probably because of your lack of stamina. He looked up and said sarcastically, But I remember yesterday someone was very confident. Wasn't this their tone? Last night, she said invitingly, Young man, is this the limit of your attack speed? And there was also that seductive look, sticking out her tongue, happily swallowing something, not forgetting those slender legs in seductive black fishnet stockings placed neatly on him, riding on top of her, hugging him and screaming, I admit defeat. System announcement, spending 500,000 cents will grant a random reward from the system. Yuto was a bit puzzled. A random reward. He quickly remembered and said to her, Right, I'll invest another sum into the company. Yonogi, while tying her hair, replied arrogantly, No need. Although KAWAI's incident spread and affected some partners, the malignant tumor has been removed now. I'm confident I can help the company recover quickly and even develop more strongly than before. Her eyes were extremely determined, and she quickly adjusted her clothes. Before leaving, she didn't forget to lean in and give him a kiss. This is also the best way for me to repay you, a major shareholder of the company. In a moment, she let go, crying out, with a pained expression, My whole body hurts, it's all your fault. The bruises on her knees were clearly visible even from a meter away. Seeing her struggling to stand up, Yuto quickly knelt down, took her hand, and gently said, How about resting for a day today? No, I must go to the meeting. She tried to appear strong, struggling to stand up, but her legs kept trembling. I have to rely on myself to grow the company and achieve brilliant success. Yuto didn't think any further, yawning, Then I'll sleep a little longer. Suddenly, just then, his phone rang. He quickly picked up. Wataru. What? Your aunt is hospitalized at Wicheng First Hospital. Very quickly, he arrived at Aunt Shen's hospital room, accompanied by someone. Aunt Shen, looking weak, said politely, It's nothing serious. Just troubling you too, he cheerfully replied. What are you saying, Aunt Shen? Even if there was nothing wrong, I should visit you often. He was still peeling an apple. Back when I was an intern, if I hadn't come to your house to eat every day, I probably would have starved to death, right? Wataru said, turning to his close friend. Wataru also smiled brightly in response. You're too polite about eating. Then he turned to the woman and said, Here, Auntie, have an apple. In his heart, his friend was secretly worried. The hospital fees are still a bit short. I initially wanted to borrow from YUTO, but I saw that his company was having problems, and his younger sister is going to university. It's really not easy for him, forget it. I'll think of another way. At this moment, a nurse and 2 strong men entered. Bed number 42. Yes, this is it, Aunt Shen. Get up and come with us to another room, one of them said. Wataru rushed out to question them. What are you doing? He anxiously said. Nurse, we're still a little short on the fees. I said I would pay the rest in a few days. Do you need to kick us out right now? The nurse looked a little panicked. Hospital fees. Didn't you just pay 1 million, and you want to upgrade to a VIP room? We're processing the upgrade for you. What? Wataru was stunned, unable to believe his ears. 1 million, he asked again, his mouth agape. The nurse cheerfully replied, yes, it was this gentleman who just paid. The two strong men had already lifted Aunt Shen up, saying cheerfully, Aunt Shen, this is our hospital's personalized bed transfer service for VIP patients. Are you satisfied? The woman, now completely losing her composure, was mesmerized, squeezing the chest muscles of the man next to her. Satisfied? Satisfied, pretty firm, aren't they? All right, princess, please hold on tight, let's go. Immediately afterward, the three of them rushed off. Arriving at the VIP room, the two men quickly took off their jackets, showing off their bulging muscles. Aunt Shen, if you need anything, just press the bell. We're at your service 24/7. Okay, she readily agreed. At this moment, Wataru still hadn't recovered. Yuta, am I so worried that I'm hallucinating? Or should you hit me? Okay. Yuta agreed, punching him hard in the stomach. He cried out in pain. Wataru trembled, his face pale, crying silently. Damn. You hit too hard. Serves you right. And Shen's lack of hospital fees, such a big deal. And you didn't tell me. Do you still consider me a brother? He was struggling to explain when Yuta put a hand on his shoulder to reassure him. All right, let Aunt Shen stay here for now. If you run out of money, just tell me, good brother. Thank you so much. Wataru was so happy he cried. System announcement. The host's mission is complete. System reward. My eyes are the ruler. He rubbed his chin in confusion, thinking, what does that mean? What's the use of this reward? At this moment, in the VIP room next door, a worried voice asked, Dad, are you all right? Should I call my younger brother? A beautiful woman appeared with a clearly anxious expression. She was a student at Wucheng University, Mika Yamada. She hurried to bring her father a glass of water. Her father took it, patted her head, and replied, no need, it's just some minor ailments. Probably just haven't gotten used to the climate after getting off the plane. This time, I hope you'll also participate in some of the company's decisions. Then he handed her a file. Take a look at this project. If we can acquire it, the situation of our family could be reversed immediately. You're the elite of Wucheng University, and this project is very suitable for your major. I trust your vision. She took it, quickly flipping through a few pages to examine it. Then you can rest assured and recuperate. I'll go back and study this project for a while. And also, don't tell Shinji brother about this, her father said. She quickly left the hospital, carefully checking her watch. I can still make it back to my specialized class in time. At that moment, an older woman with a sinister expression suddenly appeared, scheming. This girl just came down from the VIP room. She must be a fat sheep. As soon as the girl stepped forward, the woman was ready, just waiting for the opportunity. She threw her cane, pretending to fall. Then she grabbed the girl's leg, feigning injury, bullying an old woman. Is there anyone in charge here? Anxiously asked. Did I just bump into you? The woman's accomplices seized the opportunity, adding fuel to the fire and criticizing. I saw it. What's wrong with this old woman? So immoral. They rushed forward, pushing the girl. What school do you look like you go to? I'll definitely report this. Yuto happened to be passing by and quickly helped up, carefully and solicitously asking, are you okay? At this moment, his eyes suddenly lit up. System announcement. Detected that the host has activated my eyes are the ruler. F36 was flustered, quickly replying, I'm fine, thank you. This is clearly only a B or C, but the system says F36. No way, is the system broken, he thought, his eyes glancing over to check the girl's edge. At this moment, the old woman clung to her leg, wailing, I'm an old woman who's been hit and injured, and no one cares. Couldn't help but panic. Maybe I was too hasty just now and really hurt the old woman. He quickly intervened. If you admit it, you'll have fallen into their trap. She turned to him in confusion. He pondered for a moment. I've been looking in this direction, and the skill has been automatically activating continuously. When the distance between you and the old woman was less than 3 centimeters, she actively leaned towards you. Also, at positions like 3 meters behind you, 7 meters in front, the second floor stairs at a 45-degree angle, and the fourth floor at a 70-degree angle. All those positions have people with cameras ready. Whether it's from a side angle, a low angle, a front angle, or a high angle, they're all excellent shooting positions, he continued seriously. At this moment, she was startled. Is there such a thing? Actually, I made that up. Yuto teased her again, but they really look like a professional team. Have you offended anyone recently? He asked seriously. She also thought carefully. Really, I'm sorry, I definitely didn't bump into you just now. She approached the old woman and said directly. The old woman pointed at her face and shouted, "This little girl is still denying it. The hospital has cameras, you can't deny it." I agree to check the cameras, but for things that happen in a few milliseconds, ordinary videos may not be able to distinguish clearly. She politely replied, then gently sat down next to the old woman and continued, "But now there is a new slow-motion algorithm that can determine the accuracy of the video to the second. That way, everything will be clear." In an instant, the gentle expression disappeared, leaving only a sinister look. "Although the price may be a bit expensive, if the responsibility is mine, I will bear all your losses. Otherwise, can I leave it to you to handle?" The scammers hurriedly ran away. "Let's just forget it." "I'm leaving," she put on a thoughtful expression, as expected. Yuto quickly asked, "You even know about this technique?" Happily replied, "I made that up too. Isn't it clear now?" The two looked at each other as if they understood each other's hidden meaning. She then calmly introduced herself. "Right, my name is Mikuyamada. I still have to thank you this time. I'm Yuto Matsushima." Without lingering, she quickly said goodbye. "I'm a bit short on time this time. When you're free, come to our school and I'll show you around." Then she turned and left. Yuto was left behind, a little disappointed, and said, "How nice, aren't you being wary of me?" He rubbed his temples with a headache, thinking, forget it, there's no need to get deeply involved with ambitious people who aren't honest. Looking at his watch, he was surprised. It's already 6 o'clock, that evening, in Yuto's room. He put on a lecherous, perverted, and gleeful expression as he looked at his phone. "Watch the live stream. I heard there's a very attractive event today. Dance area, Goddess Yukachi versus the cute girl Marinian will have PK match live." In the live stream room, Yukachi had 1,450,140 viewers, while Marinian had 19,192. It seems like they're PKing. "Thank you everyone in the dance area for your support. Love you all," the hot girl acted seductively, blowing a kiss. The comments section was extremely lively. "You're so beautiful. How can I? So awesome, Yukachi. So pretty. How to be so awesome, Yukachi? You're so beautiful. How can I have you?" In contrast, Marinian's side was struggling. "Brothers in the game area, let's charge her." The comments were extremely desolate. "What cosplay is this? Baby bus, the difference is clear. Be quiet. This is my style. Marinian, it looks like you're about to lose. So, what kind of punishment should I give you?" Yukachi looked triumphant. "Since you're a game streamer, then perform a game using your feet. Yukachi is the best. Play it." Shung with a salary of 3,500 donated it all to you. So satisfying, one of Yuto's eyes lit up, activating the skill "My eyes are the ruler." He typed in the comment section, "Yuto, with such long legs, are the proportions wrong? Even the table next to it is deformed." She immediately got angry and burned the chat. "Wrong proportions. People have had these proportions for so many years. Is this person even watching the live stream seriously?" User Yuto has been banned by the streamer from speaking for 365 days. A message appeared on the screen. "You have been muted." The fans also joined in criticizing him. "Where did this lowly level 1 account come from to slander our Yukachi? Must be from the other side. Kick him out." Saying it's fake without even seeing it. It's just sour grapes. She then pretended not to care. "Tell everyone not to argue with this kind of level 1 account anymore. Room manager, handle it. You have been kicked out of Yukachi's live stream room." He had a headache. Does a streamer need to be flattered to this extent? And not allowed to talk anymore? Well, then I'll go to another one. He quickly clicked on Marinian's live stream account. She was flustered and pleaded, "No, the PK is almost over. Can you guys help me out? Level 6 noble guy, Alright, our tourist area is full of poor people, you know that. Level 23 Yopapi, who told you to PK with the big sister of the dance area? Surrender quickly. Level 15 Otter, I really enjoy your live streams. I'm Yuto, sending 5 rockets. Both female streamers were immediately startled and unexpected. 1 rocket costs 88,000 times 5. Brother is so generous. Big brother, do you still need a younger brother? The entire comment section became noisy. Come back, Mourinho cheered happily. The cute girl made a heart shape. Thank you for the support, big brother. At this moment, Yukochi regretfully realized, is that Yuto from just now? Brothers, Yukochi is about to be overtaken. Can you try a little harder? She quickly used her body as a prop, sticking out her butt and shaking it. User Yuto sent 10 rockets, 10 more big rockets. Spending 1 million like it's nothing. It's not that my team isn't trying, but the other side has a big spender. Yukochi exclaimed in surprise. How can we compete? Mourinho was happy. Well then, Yukochi, it's time for you to accept your punishment. System announcement. User Yuto used the channel-wide speaker. Yuto, what's the use of muting? Still can't keep my mouth shut. The comments exploded again, so she offended the other side's big brother, Yukochi, apologized to Yuto quickly. Speak louder, big brother can't hear you, so you have to keep talking. He was putting on a smug expression. She hurriedly bowed her head and admitted her mistake. I'm sorry, big brother, I was wrong. I'll accept my punishment now. At this moment, a few dings from his phone caught his attention. Mourinho, thank you for helping me out. I live stream for fun. I don't need gifts or benefits. If you're not comfortable, I can return it to you refund. Isn't this some kind of link scam? He wondered in confusion, then quickly replied, no need, it's just a small amount. IP address, Wucheng, 256 following, 166 followers. Mourinho saw that his IP address was in Wucheng. How about this? I'll treat you to a meal, let's become friends. He propped his chin on his hand and thought, could it be that she saw me give so many gifts and threw out a line to catch a big fish? After all, female streamers are very clever. But it would be a waste not to eat a free meal. Okay, I'll come then, Yuto quickly replied. At Mourinho's house, in a dressing room with piles of designer bags. The middle-aged woman with lingering beauty was somewhat angry. You ungrateful child, leaving your mother here without a care, and you're always busy with that live streaming. At this moment, Mourinho happily walked out. Isn't that my job? I'll come to you as soon as I'm done. She cheerfully snuggled into her mother's arms, holding her hand affectionately. How could I not care about you, my dear mother? Her mother lovingly scolded her daughter. Work. Isn't the few million recharge credits your family gives you every month enough? Look, this Paraiba tourmaline stone of yours is worth up to 4.3 million recharge credits. With my livestream income, I wouldn't be able to afford it in a lifetime. She replied innocently, work isn't just about money, it's mainly about passion. Besides, I get to meet interesting people like the one today. As she spoke, she pointed to her phone containing her messages with Yuto. Mrs. Lin changed the subject. I don't want to talk about these things anymore. That matchmaking meeting, the other party is the young master of the Nonyo Corporation. You should pay attention, Mum. I don't want these things yet. She didn't care, stood up. All right. I'm only responsible for conveying the message. Tell your father the rest. At Yuto's apartment complex, he had already left the house, rubbing his belly. Speaking of which, I seem a bit hungry. I'll go to old CAO's place for a bite. The image of fried skewers, toast, and a little beer popped into his head, wondering how enjoyable it would be. He was drooling at the thought. He quickly arrived at old Cow's fried food stall. A voice spoke. Sister, can the rent be extended for a few more days? He pleaded. Things haven't been going well lately. I'll definitely pay you back when I have the money. The fierce old woman. You still talk about leniency. Am I running a business or a charity? If you can't pay the rent, get out. I don't care about the market situation. For the previous rent, I'll take these devices of yours as collateral. Old CAO was startled. What? Without another word, she called someone over to seize everything. Take them all away. Old Cow quickly begged for mercy. These ovens are all custom made and cost a lot of money. I only owe you the rent. Get out. No one would buy this junk even if you sell it. Taking this to pay off the debt is already a favor to you. Without any reasoning, a young man pushed him, causing old CEO to fall hard to the ground. At this moment, someone placed a hand firmly on his shoulder. He was stunned, turned around to look, and trembled inwardly. Why can't I move? How much rent does he owe you? I'll pay it for him. Yuto said coldly to the woman. The landlord frowned, her voice arrogant. You, who are you? Even if you pay, I won't agree. The hostess pointed at Yuto and said, I was kind enough to rent him the shop at such a low price. The woman crossed her arms, annoyed and irritated. Now that this area is about to be transformed into a national commercial city, how can it stay the same? She kept on ranting. That's nice talk, but you just heard that the rent is going up. Old Cow tried to explain. She unreasonably snapped. I don't care. The 3 shops around here are all mine. Anyway, now big brands are looking to rent from me. Each shop paying 20,000 recharge credits in rent. Yuto took his phone out of his pocket. He picked up the phone and called. Hello, is this Director Fujiwara? If you're willing to pay 30,000 to 50,000 recharge credits per month to continue renting, I can discuss it with you. She saw the bait and named her price. Is it done urgently? Good work. Yuto didn't care and just focused on answering the phone. You're such a vicious landlord. We have nothing more to discuss. This place belongs to me now. He turned around and replied handsomely. Belongs to you? Who the hell are you to say that? Do you think I'm like those second-hand landlords? Let me tell you, I'm the main owner. I won't sell at any price, she yelled. Then she turned to her subordinates and ordered, What are you still standing there for? Continue, take all the stuff. Yuto quickly stepped forward to stop the 2 of them. Without saying a word, he knocked them both flying. She screamed in fright. What are you going to do? Believe it or not, I'll call the police. You only bought the right to use this shop. He dusted his hands and replied. Immediately after, 2 cranes arrived, and I bought the land of this entire commercial street. He looked calm and conveniently stepped on the gangster. The construction team arrived and hurriedly asked, Boss, any instructions? She was frightened and confused. What are you guys going to do? If I want, I can immediately turn this place into a construction site and then leave it for a few months. See if you can rent it out then. It's just a small loss of money. No big deal. I can still afford this 200. Yuto folded his arms and said. She was shocked when she heard that. 200. Is it 200 million recharge credits? Who have I offended? She hurriedly knelt down. Big brother, please spare me, big brother. She didn't forget to counter. My family has suffered investment failures in recent years, and now we only rely on the rent from the commercial street to survive. So what should I do? He asked coldly. She cried until her face was distorted, with tears and snot streaming down. From today onwards, the rent will be halved, and utilities will be free. Is that okay? You understand, right? He coldly let out a sentence. The notification board then appeared. Reward. Nose of the Great Grievance Master. System reminder. Master has unlocked the main quest. Establish a company. Fight against more unscrupulous businesses. Description. Equip the nose of the Great Grievance Master to sense the aura of scammed people around. He was a little puzzled. After a while, everything had calmed down. The hot skewers were still on the charcoal stove. Old Cow happily held a bottle of wine. I'm treating you today. Eat and drink freely. Don't be polite. Yuto, no, thank you so much today. You're being too polite. Why call me boss? Just take care of my late-night meals in the future. I have to say, your food is still the best, trust me. He replied with a bright smile, not forgetting to blush and scratch his head in embarrassment. I'm not bragging, but this secret recipe of our family has been passed down for decades. After overcoming this challenge, I have full confidence that I will definitely lead my business to great success. At this moment, a woman's voice rang out. You're such a big boss. You specifically called me over, just to treat me to skewers, but they don't taste bad at all. It was Yonogi. He looked at her and smiled, but thought to himself, if she knew this barbecue cost 200 million recharge credits, I wonder what she would think. Anyway, this main quest is probably for me to help the people around me avoid being scammed or encountering bad guys. It seems like I haven't activated the Great Grievance Master's aura yet. He suddenly moved closer, pressing his face close to hers, puckering his lips. Yonogi was shy and embarrassed. What are you doing? This is outside. There are many people around. Then she whispered in his ear, if you like, we can go home and smell it slowly. He didn't change his expression and said seriously to her, Yonogi, actually, I called you tonight because I want to start a new company and need your help with some initial preparations like choosing a location and equipping the office. She was overjoyed and raised her glass. So you see me as a little assistant. Then all right, what kind of company are you planning to open? Are there any special requirements for the location and equipment? He continued speaking and poured wine into her glass. I haven't thought about the specific type of company yet. Maybe an investment company. The more expensive the location and equipment, the better. A slight smile appeared on his lips as he pondered. He suddenly thought, if Yonogi gets scammed while shopping and I help her avoid the trap, will I get a reward? Then they clinked glasses. She replied, okay, I have experience in starting companies. I guarantee all factors will have the most reasonable value. He carefully instructed, don't just rely on having a lot of money and spend it lavishly. There will be many places where you'll need it later. She turned to Old Cow. Boss, please wrap up a portion of chives and 5 pig kidneys, extra spicy. Coming right up. What are you doing? Yuto broke out in a sweat. They returned home when it was already dark. They hugged and kissed passionately in front of the house. You're so heartless. It took a lot of effort for me to help you manage the company. Are you going somewhere else to look for something? She pouted and complained lovingly. He was a little surprised. I didn't. She said seductively, the perfume on you can't fool anyone. I don't need anything else. Just you by my side when I need you to help me recharge. Okay. Yonogi softened her tone and acted coquettishly. I agree with you. Yonogi happily took his arm. Then let's go back to the room. They walked away without noticing the flickering figure behind them. Suddenly, a notification popped up. Activated the skill My Eyes Are the Ruler. Only then did Yuto look behind him. He carefully considered. The distance of the shadow is always very stable. It seems like we've been followed all the way. Wait, Yonogi, he said as he grabbed her hand. She was a little surprised. He pretended to be uncomfortable, putting his hand on his stomach. My stomach hurts so much. It might be because I ate bad skewers. I can't tonight. You go back first. He scratched his ear in embarrassment. She didn't seem to want to let him go, trying to run away. Dog man. Next time you have to pay me double. No running away, she said decisively, then turned and left. Yuto waved goodbye. I know, I'll definitely do it next time. Only then did he turn around and call out to the mysterious person behind him. You've been following me for so long, come out and meet me. This kid is quite sharp. An older-looking man with a long scar on his face walked over. Despite his polite appearance, he had a sinister expression. If you have to stick your nose in other people's business, don't blame me for teaching you a lesson. The henchman behind him pulled out large baseball bats. Without saying a word, they swung directly at him. Yuto nimbly dodged and grabbed his weapon. He struggled to defend himself. Why is this guy so strong? I ate a strength pill, and it's only just enough to hold him off. He quickly backed away, trying to negotiate. We may have some misunderstanding, but there's no need to resort to violence right away, is there? Then he pulled out a wad of cash from his pocket. Let's talk things out. I'll give you some money, and we'll consider this matter settled. What do you think? Before he could understand, the money in his hand was knocked away by something. In his hand was a pair of sharp knives. The man had a perverted expression. Kid, you still don't know who you've messed with. Money doesn't work, no matter what. No one will show up here. Then he flew up, slashing towards Yuto. Remember this, don't stick your nose in other people's business again. Suddenly, a hand landed on his shoulder. Your muscles are quite firm. A group of people came from somewhere, chatting cheerfully and excitedly. This kid is really a good fighter. I heard they're recruiting extras here. We're just here to take a look. Pay first, then act. Don't even think about scamming me. This old lady doesn't scam. Good job, old-timers. To for each person, come here, come here. At this moment, Yonogi appeared, holding a wad of cash. She replied confidently. He was puzzled and a little embarrassed. Yonogi. She lavishly threw money into the air. Kid, still trying to trick me. I've seen everything in this world. I'm not easily fooled. The man was surrounded, and the people around him were extremely annoyed. I actually got paid, all right. This old man will definitely act well. Grandson, see, grandma's on TV. The man with scar on face was scared and stammered. Kid, you. Yuto was now brimming with confidence. Money can't buy ghosts. It's a pity it can buy our strongest fighting force. What? You're not convinced? At this moment, his henchman started crying uncontrollably. Grandma, you really look like my grandma. My grandson, seeing this scene, he was speechless. Idiot. Let's go. The group quickly ran away. The people around curiously asked, why did they leave? Aren't they acting anymore? Yonogi replied with a smile, sorry, ma'am, that's all for today's filming. I'll call you again next time. After the crowd dispersed, Yuto pondered, these three people are probably not simple. Who is behind them? The next morning, at the bank. The clerk yawned tiredly, so sleepy. Good thing I'm not late. Suddenly, a loud shout. You girl, how can you behave like this? It made her spit out the coffee in her mouth. As a bank employee, personal style is the most important. You're lazy and negligent. How can customers feel at ease entrusting their money to you? The staff behind her chatted. One person pointed at her and lectured. Service image is very important. You represent the bank, understand. The younger generation really doesn't have the same sense of steadfastness as our time. The clerk was so flustered that she broke out in a sweat. Who are these people? Why are you all gathered at my small temple like this? At this moment, Fujiwara arrived. She called out for help. Fujiwara. Natsuki, let me introduce you. This is President Yamada, the Director of Development Bank, and the person sitting next to him is Manager Soto, the person in charge of the China region of Morgan Bank, and finally, the Director of ABC Trust Company. She was immediately bewildered. All big names in the financial industry. Why are you here? Fujiwara intervened. I say, everyone, you're all prominent figures. Why are you standing at the door like this? It's not appropriate at all. Why don't we all go to the VIP room to rest? As soon as CEO Otsushima appears, I'll let everyone know immediately. Fujiwara has already had the opportunity to approach him, but we haven't had the chance to meet him yet. That's right, he carried out such a large acquisition in just one night. There will definitely be new moves. Morgan Bank won't let a client like this slip away either. The three of them were making a fuss. The clerk, seeing this scene, couldn't help but exclaim, so it's all because of that director. Besides, we can also help you supervise and train your staff. So many people want this opportunity but can't get it right. Natsuki, you're a deputy director now, so learn more from your seniors. The clerk was startled when she was mentioned. She hurriedly bowed. Thank you, seniors, for your guidance. Deputy director, such a young deputy director. Everyone was shocked. Mr. Fujiwara, how could this be? Where are your disciplines? The group took the opportunity to taunt him. Fujiwara hurriedly mediated. Don't talk nonsense. So, tell me, how did she become the deputy director? Natsuki didn't care. Her phone suddenly rang. She immediately answered, Mr. Matsushima. Do you want to deposit another 597 cents? All right, the bank can arrange on-site service for you. The crowd seized the opportunity. Is it CEO Matsushima? Definitely. 597 cents. Who else would spend that much? Fujiwara also had a headache. At that time, the person who directly worked with CEO Matsushima was her. Now you understand why she became the deputy director. The crowd quickly rushed to flatter her. Ms. Natsuki is so amazing. You're the pride of us bankers, Natsuki. Where did you and Mr. Matsushima meet? Natsuki, I'll treat you to dinner. let's sit down and talk more clearly. The bright sunshine shone on the tall buildings. Natsuki stood in front of Yuto's office, panting. He brought a bottle of water to her. You've worked hard, drink some water. She took it, breathing heavily, and said, to protect Mr. Matsushima's privacy, these things are all necessary. She raised the bottle to drink, recalling what had just happened, thinking to herself, changed 3 cars, went through 4 streets to escape those big shots. He also frowned, thinking, I didn't expect so many people to be following me. However, the 3 people from yesterday are definitely not these financial giants. Yuto recalled the mysterious person who attacked him last time, meddling in other people's business. Could it be that little streamer I defeated in the PK that day? Suddenly his phone vibrated. He picked it up and saw a message from Mourinho. 6 p.m. at the Ristorante Mono restaurant. I'll be waiting for you. He put his hand on his hip. Just in time, I can find a clue from her. In the afternoon, as promised, Yuto arrived at the restaurant where Mourinho had made the reservation. The waiter saw him enter and bowed. Hello, sir. Are you looking for someone or dining? He scratched his head, his eyes dull. To be honest, I don't know her name. I probably can't call her by her nickname, can I? The waiter saw that he didn't say anything, so he offered, if you haven't booked a table, there are still empty tables. I can show you to one. The manager came out of nowhere, saw this and yelled, Yoshi, what are you doing? Ms. Ito's favorite VIP room is Lily of the Valley. I've told you so many times, and you still booked the wrong one. Do you even want to work here? The waiter was scolded severely, scratching his head. I'm sorry, manager, I'll change it right away. He then ran off quickly. The manager continued to yell, losing this customer, even selling you wouldn't be enough to compensate. Seeing Yuto staring at him, he frowned and asked, what are you looking at? We're not hiring security guards here, go away. Then he thought, dressed in rags like this, he actually thought he was a customer. So lacking in discernment, at this moment, Yuto's phone rang again. He answered and realized it was Mourinho. Hello, brother, where are you? He replied, I'm in the hotel lobby. The manager was still standing there cursing. If you want to make a phone call, go outside. Go away. Then a hand gently patted Yuto's shoulder. Hello. Mourinho raised her hand in greeting. You're Yuto, right? I'm Ito Moriko, also known as Mourinho. The manager saw her and broke out in a cold sweat, stammering, Miss Ito. Is this your guest? She replied, yes, why? Yuto also spoke up at this time. I'm a customer, not here to apply for a security guard position. The manager's attitude changed 180 degrees, scratching his head and giving a fake smile. I'm so sorry. It's all my fault for not knowing better. I'm really sorry, he replied. It's okay. Where should we sit? But in his heart, he judged him, snobbish. I'm too lazy to argue with you. Mourinho teased him after hearing this. I didn't expect you to like thighs so much that you even applied for a security guard position. Let's go, the manager. The lily of the valley flower pot that Miss Ito likes has been prepared. Is the menu the same as usual tonight? She replied, yes. Then she asked Yuto, what about Yuto, big brother? He said unhappily, didn't you say my name is Yuto? No need for big brother. She blushed and smiled brightly. I think it's more interesting to call you that. Then he turned to the manager. I've never been to a place like this. Just do as she says. The manager looked down on him after hearing this. Sure enough, he's just a pretty boy living off a woman. Then he put on that fake smile again. Miss Ito, the wine is still your favorite, Cardi, right? Mourinho asked Yuto for his opinion. Does Mr. Yuto drink? He rubbed his chin and replied, wine. I'm not used to drinking it. Do you have Coca-Cola? The manager seemed unhappy after hearing him, but still had to pretend. Okay, almost no customers in our restaurant order Coca-Cola. Besides, Coca-Cola and wine are a strange combination. He asked coldly, do you have it or not? Seeing his demeanor, the manager immediately agreed. If you need it, of course we have it. He turned and left, not forgetting to sneer inwardly. Just Miss Ito's toy, and he really thinks he's someone important. Then he looked over and saw a couple next to him drinking, dressed like this, and they dared to come in here. What day is it today that these kinds of lousy people are coming in droves? Shouter sat in a small corner, thinking, where are the top beauties of Wucheng? Then he glanced at Meridian, looking around, only she is passable. He turned and whispered to Diane Din, I have to rely on you. Diane Din, she pretended, you're so annoying. Making me do these kinds of things again. The king crab was brought out at this time. Miss Ito, this is your Australian king crab. Meridian also just happened to stand up. Mr. Yuto, I'm going to the restroom for a bit. You eat first, he awkwardly replied. That sounds a bit strange, doesn't it? Diane Din saw Meridian leave and ran over to strike up a conversation with Yuto. Isn't this the top-grade Australian king crab? The crab legs are so big and firm, she blushed as she spoke, licking her lips. Can you treat me to some? Seeing her like this, he broke out in a sweat. Who are you? Yuto asked back in surprise. You want me to treat you? Diane Din nodded slightly. Yes, yes. He said sympathetically. So even in a luxurious hotel like this, there are beggars. She shouted angrily. Do you really think others can't afford to eat? Then Yuto hugged the crab and gnaw on it yourself. Hateful. After saying that, she turned around and left angrily, leaving him to enjoy his meal. Suddenly, Diane Din blushed shyly and turned to accuse. Did you touch my butt? He was stunned. Who touched you? She insisted. Who else but you, still pretending. He firmly stated, Sister, I didn't touch you. Diane Xin cursed in disgust. Not only stingy, but also acts indecently. She picked up the glass of water on the table and splashed it while cursing. So hateful. Go to hell. However, he dodged, and she slipped, so the glass of water splashed directly on the person below. That person yelled. My wig. A foot stepped onto the stairs. The extremely beautiful Meridian stepped out to mediate. Miss, it seems you've gone a bit too far. You misunderstood my friend. I hope you can apologize to him. Diane Din was annoyed. I apologize. Why should I apologize? He clearly touched me first. Moreover, what right do you have to ask me to apologize? Who do you think you are? You can't even control your own man, so how can you control me? She broke out in a cold sweat after being scolded repeatedly. A bodyguard ran over and shouted, Miss Ito, as you requested, the camera footage has been thoroughly reviewed. We zoomed in and slowed it down, and then discovered that it was indeed this girl who approached first. Meridian glanced at her and asked, Did you hear that? Diane Din turned her face away in embarrassment, her mouth firmly asserting, So what? Maybe I just missed a step, and he took the opportunity to reach out. Besides, which girl would slander her own purity? Anyway, I won't apologize. Hearing this, Meridian made a condition. Then let's do this. Please have the manager inform all the high-end restaurants in Wucheng that this person is suspected of faking collisions for extortion. It's best to block her from entering all of them. The bodyguard immediately followed suit. Of course, Miss Ito, I'll immediately contact the other restaurants to coordinate. Diane Din was extremely frightened, thinking, Who is this girl? How can she have such great influence? Meridian took out her phone and took a picture of Diane Xin's face. She asked in confusion, What are you doing? Are you filming me? Meridian said, I'll post something on Weibo myself so that everyone can be careful. She turned and winked at Yuto. Don't worry, big brother. Last time you protected me, this time it's my turn to protect you on my home turf. I definitely won't let you suffer any losses. Diane Din panicked and held her head. This is not right. If I'm blocked by all the high-end restaurants in the city, how will I be able to befriend rich people to make money in the future? A hand was placed on her shoulder, interrupting her. I'm sorry, my friend drank too much and caused a little misunderstanding. I think there's no need for any further announcements. Shouter stepped in to help Diane Din. Why don't I treat you to this meal as a way of making friends? Okay. She was surprised. Shouter, he reminded her. Why don't you apologize to these two and leave quickly? She followed suit, bowing deeply and saying, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Meridian calmly sat back down. She asked, Who are you? I don't think I know you. He formally introduced himself. I'm Shoutani Jima, from the Southern District. It's normal that you don't recognize me. She changed her attitude and cheerfully asked Yuto, "Brother, he said he wants to treat us. Do you agree?" He immediately replied, "Sure, I'm just here to freeload anyway." She asked again, "Shouter, are you sure you're treating us, so we can order anything, right?" He quickly replied, "Of course, miss, feel free to enjoy yourself." Shouta eyes glanced to the side, he stared at Yuto with a provocative look. Drops of wine were poured, the aroma delicious. Shouta sat at a separate table opposite Mourinho and Yuto as they dined. Although the plan was a bit difficult, it was ultimately effective. A handsome, rich young man can freely enjoy luxurious feasts. Opposite him is a poor young man who might have to work for several months to afford one meal. Who should she choose in the end? Just one look is enough to know. The more straightforward girl will throw herself into my arms that night, while the more shy girl will push and pull a few times. In any case, this fish-slapping method has been successful countless times for this young master. Both people at the next table finished eating and stood up to leave. Mourinho happily invited, "Let's go, brother. I've eaten a lot, come with me for a walk by the river," he agreed. "Okay." Shouta was shocked by the scene, just leaving like that, not even saying goodbye to me. He hurriedly stood in front of the two and asked, "Miss Mourinho, do you want to go for a walk?" "I'm free too, why don't we go together?" Mourinho wondered, "Why should I go with you?" He didn't give up, taking out his phone and suggesting, "Then let's exchange contact information." She quickly replied, "There's no need for that. A restaurant staff member came out to stop him. You want to leave?" "You haven't paid the bill yet." The amount displayed was 3.2 million. Shouta exclaimed in shock, "Damn it, a meal that I have to pay 3.2 million for?" Mourinho frankly exposed him. "I recognized it from the beginning. You think you can deceive girls with a little money? Trash, can't even take out more than 3 million. If not, call me sister, I'll help you pay." He was provoked. Damn it, he raised his hand to slap her. "Let me tell you, no one can fool this young master." A hand quickly grabbed his hand. Yuto said unhappily, "Do you want to cause trouble?" Yuto gripped Shouta's hand tightly. He cried out in pain, "It hurts." "Dude, whose side are you on? Make it clear." He calmly replied, "I'm not on anyone's side. Is there a problem?" Shouta broke free, pointing his finger and asserting, "All right, you're the boss here. I get it. If you have the guts, come to Southern District. I'll beat you up." Mourinho took Yuto's arm and said, "Let's go, brother, don't mind him." The night sky under a high-end hotel and luxurious cars parked. Yuto and Mourinho were walking down the stairs when a man in a suit ran over and announced, "Mr. Yamada, I'm here." Director Yamada was panting. Mourinho was surprised. "Uncle Yamada?" Shouta watched from afar, curious. "Isn't that Director Yamada from Southern District Development Bank? Why is he here?" Ichiro Yamada was delighted. "Fortunately, Natsuki, Yuto haven't left yet. You must be Yuto, sir, right? I finally get to meet you. Let me introduce myself. I'm from Development Bank, Ichiro Yamada." The two directors behind him also hurried over. The bald man said, "Sir, you must consider investing in our ABC Trust Company next time." Sato continued, "Sir, on behalf of Morgan Bank, I extend to you our sincerest invitation." Shouta was stunned. Half of the financial giants in the Southern District have come to meet him specifically. Who is this person? Yuto stood in front of the hotel, making a suggestion to the three directors standing below. "My request is very simple." He took out a coin and continued, "Whoever can help me investigate the person who attacked me that night, I will invest in them next time." All three directors were extremely excited, competing. "Fair, I agree, I must have this investment. Compared to information networks, Morgan Bank still has a greater advantage." "Sir, wait for good news from us." Then all three left one after another, getting into their cars. Mourinho apologized. "Big brother, it seems my Weibo post exposed you." "I'll delete it right away." Yuto reassured her, "It's okay. I have to work with them anyway." Shouta walked over and shouted, "Wait." Yuto frowned in annoyance. "Shouta Nijima, right? What do you want now?" Behind Shouta were two men. He had a triumphant look. "No, Didn't I say it already? To beat you up, brothers, attack. Yuto was about to fight, but suddenly froze. Shada held up a can of drink. Mourinho recognized it. Coconut water. All three drank the coconut water in one gulp. Suddenly all three of them held the can of coconut milk and danced as if performing. Shada was shameless. He smiled, posing with the can of coconut milk, and said, "Southern District is famous for coconut milk. It's delicious. You should try it." Yuto was surprised. "What are you doing?" Suddenly Shada knelt down and hugged Yuto's feet and cried. He begged, "Big brother, I didn't realize my mistake earlier. You're looking for someone. I can help you. Besides, I'm more familiar with gangsters than they are." Yuto agreed. "All right, I'll give you a chance." He rejoiced. "Thank you so much, Mr. Matsushima." A man walked out of the hotel, holding a VIP card, and introduced himself. "Mr. Matsushima, I'm the owner of this restaurant. This is a VIP card for you. May I ask if there was anything unsatisfactory with our service today?" Yuto politely replied, "No, not at all." "I should thank your lobby manager." He looked a bit worried. Yuto continued, "Thank him for letting me know that rich people only drink high-end alcohol, not Coca-Cola." He angrily turned to the frightened manager behind him. "You're fired. I'll inform all the high-end restaurants in the Restaurant Association about this." The manager cried inwardly, "I'm done for, I knew it." At school, Soki cheerfully said, "Goodbye, senior. Thank you so much today." Mika Yamada replied, "All right, Soki, I'll be going then." Soki walked away in a good mood. "I'm so lucky to have met Senior Yamada in the study room and received her guidance." She recalled the scene of Mika Yamada explaining to her, "For this type of problem, I suggest you read Professor Simon's explanation of economics. It will be very helpful for you," she praised inwardly. Top student in the major, excellent scholar, the beauty of Wuching University, unexpectedly so down to earth. If I were a man, I would probably fall for her too. I wonder if she has a boyfriend. As soon as she reached the dormitory entrance, she heard gossip. Serves her right. After all, she's alone. "We have the advantage." Soki stopped at the door. The people inside noticed her. She gently asked, "What are you talking about?" She noticed her books in the trash can. Confused, Soki took out her books and asked, "Why are my books in the trash?" The girl with short hair calmly said, "I saw you throw them on the floor. I thought you didn't want them, so I just helped you clean up." Soki walked to her bed and was shocked to find it soaking wet. "Why is my bed like this?" The girl with long black hair explained, "Mickey accidentally spilled some water. It's a little wet, but it won't affect your sleep." "You're not going to hold it against her, are you?" Mickey scowled. "Yeah, so what?" Soki was speechless. She remained silent. The other three girls gave her disgusted looks. The sky was clear and blue. Yuto was furious. "Someone dared to bully my sister." He flung the door open and anxiously asked Soki, "Soki, are you all right?" She softly said, "Brother, I'm fine." The three girls in the room blushed at the sight of the handsome man. Yuto stood in front of her, assuring her, "Don't worry, Soki, I will definitely protect you." The teacher asked, "Sir, you're Soki's brother, right? I already mentioned on the call that there was a bullying incident in Soki's dormitory." Yuto stepped forward. "Hello, Ms. Sawai. I have a general understanding of the situation. I believe that bullying in the dormitory is a very serious matter. If not handled promptly, it could escalate into a social issue. I demand that this matter be dealt with seriously." She pushed her glasses up and said, "Indeed, sir. The school shares the same view, which is why we invited you here." "So, Soki, do you have anything to add regarding the accusations made by your three roommates about you bullying them?" Yuto was a bit bewildered and asked, "Wait, Ms. Sawai, you mean my sister is the perpetrator?" She calmly replied, "From what we understand, it appears so." The three girls suddenly started crying and shouting, "My mom has never scolded me like that. I don't want to go to school anymore. I want to go home. School bullying is so scary." He turned to Soki and asked, "Sister, is this true?" She chuckled, recalling the previous events. Soki wasn't afraid but said softly, "Then let me help you." She ran over and grabbed the short-haired girl's hair. Wearing it like this is useless. You might as well face yourself sooner. She pulled the wig off. Then she wrapped the blanket around the girl with long black hair. A wet bed doesn't affect sleep, right? Then you can use it tonight. The girl screamed and ordered. Mickey, get her? I rushed forward to punch her. Soki effortlessly lifted Mickey up and slammed her onto the floor. I fainted in fear, Soki said firmly. Matsushima family girl is second to none. Back in reality, Yuto thought to himself, I almost forgot. When it comes to strength, I'm only half as strong as my sister. It turns out that back home, she was the one who took care of planting and fishing in the pond. He asked Ms. Sawai with some doubt, but Ms. Sawai, don't you find anything strange? My sister had no reason to do such a thing. Why would she? She politely said, Sir, please come with me for a moment. In another room, the teacher was discussing with Yuto. Sir, there might be another reason behind this. But currently, the three students have reached a consensus, and Soki has also admitted to her actions. Therefore, it's best to focus on comforting and mediating to prevent the situation from escalating further. Of course, I assure you that the underlying cause will be thoroughly investigated. Yuto continued. I understand. Ms. Sawai, leave the rest to me. He walked over and suggested to the three girls, why don't we go out and discuss how to resolve this issue? The short-haired girl was annoyed. I'm telling you, this isn't a simple matter. The girl next to her continued, if you want to reconcile, it's best to show some sincerity. Mickey chimed in. That's right, consider your sister's reputation. Yuto snapped his fingers. Got it, sincerity, right? A staff member ran over, arms full of items, and called out, Sir, your urgent order has arrived. Yuto unpacked each item, reading aloud, the latest phone, a Hermes bag, and Hermes perfume. Is this sincere enough? The three girls were delighted. All right then, that's fine. The pile of bags suddenly fell. Yuto's voice hardened. I dare to give, but you should also consider whether you deserve to receive. The short-haired girl was puzzled. What do you mean? His face darkened as he pressed. Tell me, why did you target my sister? If you hadn't started it, she wouldn't have done that. The three girls started to whirring. Yuto held a coin and continued. You don't have to tell me. But I can double, triple, or even multiply this value by 100. There's always a way to find out everything. If I have to find out myself and then parade you around the school twice, the outcome will be very different. The short-haired girl quickly explained, we actually don't have any grudge against Soki. Her friend continued, a boy from our department paid us to make things difficult for her. Mickey held up her phone, showing a picture of a young man. That's right. It's this guy, Shinji Yamada. Yuto remained silent. A single apartment for university students. Yuto was making the bed while instructing. All right, don't go back to the dormitory anymore. Stay here, it's cleaner. Soki smiled brightly and praised. You're so good. Then I'll take a look around this area, get acquainted, and see if there are any friends. At the door, the beautiful Yamada was doing something. She wondered, strange, why is the pipe broken? Well, I'll call someone to check it out. Mika Yamada walked out and bumped into Soki standing at the door. Saki exclaimed happily, Senior Yamada, you live here too. Mika Yamada was a little surprised. Soki was surprised. Senior Yamada, it seems like there's a water leak here. Mika Yamada frowned and replied, yes, I was just about to call someone to take a look. Hearing this, Soki rejoiced. Why bother finding someone? Leave it to me. Mika Yamada was puzzled. Soki bent down to fix it, her tone confident. Don't worry about this small matter, Senior. Just then, Yuto walked by. He suddenly felt a strange aura. Yuto wondered, is that her? After he saw Mika Yamada turned around, blushing as she looked at him. Are you the person from the hospital last time? Yuto put his hands in his pockets and walked in confidently, saying, you still owe me a tour guide service around the school. Haven't forgotten, have you? Mika Yamada replied, if you followed me to the girls' dormitory for this, I might have to call security. Yuto frowned, thinking in bewilderment. Does this girl think I'm doing this to flirt with her? Yuto pointed at Soki and explained, that silly girl over there is my sister. I'm here to help her with the procedures. Mikayamato was startled. So that's it. The system suddenly announced, host has activated Nose of the Great Calamity. That's right, before you is a Great Calamity. The host begins the mission, Save the Great Calamity. Saki stood up and asked him, do you know Senior Yamada? Then she turned to Mikayamato, all right, please check it for me. Mikayamato was surprised, so fast, she went inside to check, what's wrong? Soki asked her brother, Yuto thought, it's unexpectedly her. Mikayamato turned on the faucet and praised with a smile, it's not leaking anymore. Soki is so skilled, Soki proudly replied, of course. I live right across from you. If you have any small matters like this in the future, just come find me. Suddenly, water sprayed from the faucet. Mikayamato got splashed, her dress completely soaked. Soki scratched her head and chuckled awkwardly. It seems there was a slight mistake. Yuto sat on the bed, anxiously calculating. I said I would handle it, but there's no information at all. I definitely can't just go and say that. Yuto imagined himself kneeling down, reaching out to Mikayamato. Miss Yamada, please let me save you. Mikayamato immediately crossed her arms. Security. There's a pervert. Soki interrupted his thoughts. Brother? Are you thinking about Senior Yamada? She walked over, patted his shoulder, and said resolutely, don't worry. For your lifelong happiness, your sister will definitely not refuse. Leave the initial investigation to me. In the room, Mikayamato was brushing her hair while looking in the mirror. She called out, Soki, it's all right now. Sako winked playfully. I'm sorry, Senior Yamada, how about I treat you to a meal? Just the two of us, without my brother. Mikayamato agreed. All right, let's go then. I was just thinking of taking you to try a delicious restaurant nearby. Soki replied, okay. Yuto smiled as he looked at them. He thought, this person is too cautious. Letting Soki gather information is fine too. He rested his chin on his hand, thinking, next is the other side. At this moment, Yuto was standing in front of a large road. He answered the phone and said, it's Kurobayama Circuit track, right? On the other side, Miki was urgently calling, brother, I've asked, Shinji Yamato is here. Yuto continued on the phone, what do you mean whether I pay or not is up to me, I have a race. He put his hands in his pockets and said as he walked, all right, I won't pursue your matter. But if this happens again, I definitely won't let you off so easily. Miki was anxious, sweating profusely, and quickly replied, no way, thank you, brother. Suddenly, the security guard in front stopped Yuto. You can't enter. He asked back, why? The security guard replied, only vehicles are allowed. It's the rule. Hearing this, Yuto looked around. He suddenly pointed at the red motorcycle behind him and asked, what's that? The security guard replied, that's the vehicle I use for work. All right, then just take that, Yuto said and placed a wad of cash in his hand. Holding the money, the security guard's jaw dropped in shock. Meanwhile, Yuto had already walked to the motorcycle, put on a helmet, and climbed on. He chuckled, unexpectedly, it's quite well equipped, Shinji, this car isn't bad. Fuji complimented, he smiled, it looks like you put a lot of effort into it. Shinji Yamada said excitedly, brother has a good eye, this is the car I just finished modifying. ZF's had gearbox, original Ferrari rims, and a turbocharged Champion. He stroked his car proudly, it cost me several months of savings. Today, it can finally make its debut. As Shinji Yamada was speaking, he was startled. Behind him, Yuto was speeding towards him at breakneck speed. He launched the motorcycle straight onto Shinji Yamada's supercar. The motorcycle landed, shattering the windshield and roof of the supercar. Yuto took off his helmet and said, just a little bump and it's almost falling apart. The quality of this car isn't very good. Shinji Yamada's eyes widened, his face turning pale. My beloved car, it hasn't even been in a proper collision yet, and it's already been wrecked. His eyes rolled back in anger as he gritted his teeth and yelled, get off my car. Shinji Yamada clung to his supercar in distress. My precious car. I haven't even had the heart to drive it yet. Yuto get off his motorcycle and said casually, I'll compensate you for however much it costs. But the matter of you bullying my sister needs to be settled. Yuto grabbed him by the collar. Shinji Yamadas face paled. It's you, that annoying guy. He pushed Yuto's hand away and roared. This is the consequence of you causing trouble for my friend. I'm telling you, even though he's gone abroad, I won't let you off. How about we have a race? He smirked sinisterly. If I win, you have to kneel down and fix my car. Yuto crossed his arms indifferently. In that case, if I win, you have to kneel down and apologize to my sister. Shinji Yamada didn't answer directly. He asked back, Where's your car? Yuto pointed his thumb at the small car behind him. Right there, isn't it? It's fully charged. Hearing this, he scoffed. Turns out he's not right in the head. 3 supercars and Yuto's small car took their positions. The referee's loud voice echoed, counting down, 3, 2, 1 go. As soon as the signal was given, the cars sped off. Shinji Yamada gripped the steering wheel, smirking. This speed is worth the money. He gritted his teeth. This bastard, I definitely won't let him off. Shinji Yamada stuck his hand out the window, making a mocking gesture. Can't even smell my exhaust fumes. Just give up already. Yuto remained calm as he drove. Haven't you heard the saying fools rush in? What's the rush? He spoke into his phone. Is everything ready? The helicopter above immediately reported. Roger that, sir. Someone on the helicopter threw sharp metal spikes onto the track. The black supercar in front braked just in time, running over them and causing the steering wheel to swerve. The car crashed directly into the cliffside. The person inside screamed in panic. What the hell? The yellow car behind was also affected. They got out of the car, puzzled. Where did these nails come from? No inspection. Shinji Yamada looked out of his car window, sweat dripping down his face. Damn it. Luckily, I have invincible tires, otherwise I would have been hit too. Suddenly, Yuto's small car overtook him. Shinji Yamada was shocked, his jaw dropping. His eyes bulged in disbelief. How is that guy unaffected? Yuto said proudly, This is the skill I honed from years of competing for the road with delivery drivers and elderly pedestrians. Learn? Shinji Yamada gripped the steering wheel tightly, gritting his teeth, his eyes wide with anger. I absolutely can't let him win. Looking ahead, he calculated, it's at the next turn. Yuto realized he was tailgating him closely. He turned around in surprise and shouted, You really dare to come? Shinji Yamada seemed to be in a frenzy. He threatened, Why don't you slow down? If you don't slow down, don't blame me. He turned pale and reached out to brace himself. His red supercar crashed into the cliff. Shinji Yamada got out of the car and looked around. Where's the person? Suddenly hearing a strange noise, he looked up to see a helicopter flying by. Yuto was clinging to the rope connected to it. He cursed, Damn it, luckily, I can fly. Shinji Yamada turned around. What? Yuto calmly landed. He gave a thumbs down. Looking at you like this, you can't escape. All right, kneel down. He then held up his phone. Didn't I tell you to kneel and apologize? Hurry up. I'll record it. Shinji Yamada hesitated, wanting to negotiate. Do you really have to be so cruel? He firmly replied, Don't say another word. If you lose, you have to accept it. Fuji suddenly stepped out from behind, interrupting the conversation. You guys made a bet. Whoever wins has the right, right? Yuto replied, That's right. What's wrong? He acted arrogantly. Excuse me, in the last match, I was the final winner. So he doesn't have to listen to you. Hearing this, Shinji Yamada quickly added, That's right. Brother Fujiya, even though I lost, he hasn't won yet. Yuto coldly interrupted, playing word games. He continued, You don't want to, then I'll do it myself. I've already said about you bullying my sister. I will definitely settle the score with you. He widened his eyes in fear, and at the same time raised his hand and shouted, You? What do you want to do? Let me tell you, even my dad has never hit me once. Unaware that from behind, Mika Yamada was approaching. Shinji Yamada turned around and saw her, startled. Mika Yamada slapped him hard across the face. Shinji Yamada didn't have time to react, receiving the full force of the slap that skewed his face. She scowled and lectured, Dad doesn't hit you, but I also have the right to discipline you." He cried out in fear. Sister Yuto was also surprised to witness the scene. Mika Yamada crossed her arms and scolded loudly. "Shinji Yamada, did Mom and Dad send you to university just so you could spend all day flirting with girls, racing, and bullying your friends?" She was still angry, continuing to scold. "You've disappointed me so much. Shinji, I have to suspend your credit card so you can realize your mistake." Hearing these words, Shinji immediately hugged his sister's leg, crying and apologizing. "Sister, I know I was wrong. Don't cut off my card." Yuto, witnessing this scene, couldn't help but ask, "Are you his sister?" She replied awkwardly, "We're siblings. I took my father's last name, and he took our mother's." Soki, standing nearby, spoke up. "The senior asked me why I rented a single room. I told her the reason, and she got angry and brought me here. She saw her brother also appearing here and couldn't help but wonder, 'But brother, why are you here?' Fuji also chimed in, 'So you're all friends, so it was a misunderstanding. Shinji, you have to apologize to them properly." He deliberately emphasized, "Everyone should compromise. My friend, you also have to give me some face, right? I'm a member of the Southern District. If you need any help, just tell me." Yuto turned to look at him, annoyed. "The Southern again. Don't you people in the Southern have your own homes? You go around bragging every day." He frowned at Yuto. Yuto put both hands in his pockets, boldly. "I don't care about anyone. In short, if you lose, you have to accept it." He threw a punch, scattering things around. Shinji looked at the scene in front of him, his mouth agape in fear. Yuto sat down in front of him, his voice firm. "If your legs refuse to kneel, I'll help you." He anxiously turned to his sister for help. "Sister." But Mika Yamada also replied firmly, "You reap what you sow." Sweat dripped down his face as he gritted his teeth and knelt on all fours towards Soki, stammering, "I'm sorry." Yuto stood beside him and reminded, "Speak louder, speak loud enough for my sister here." On the other side, Fuji still watched with a cold face. "Yuto, this bastard dares to disrespect me. But it's good to make such a fuss so he doesn't have a chance with Mika." To break the tense atmosphere, Soki suggested, "Brother, that's enough. Let's go down the mountain early tomorrow. The senior said she would take me around here." Mika Yamada happily replied, "Yes, there's a department store over there where we can buy household items, and there are also some clothes on sale." Saki rejoiced inwardly. "My body shape is similar to the senior's. Maybe we can even exchange clothes." As if reading his sister's mind, he immediately poured cold water on her. "Don't even dream. Her size won't fit you." His unintentional words caught the attention of the two girls. His eyes glanced somewhere, his head in a daze. He didn't know what he was thinking. "Aren't you afraid of being squeezed too tight?" Such a waste. The two girls looked at him, sweating. Soki called out, suspicious, "Brother," and Mika Yamada also wondered, how does he know? Realizing he had misspoken, he quickly raised his hand to defend himself. "I was just saying it casually. Don't mind me." His words sounded even more ambiguous to others. Fuji clenched his fists and yelled, "You bastard! What exactly happened between you and Mika Yamada?" Shinji was also agitated. He proactively suggested to his sister, "Sister, let's take brother's car down the mountain later. It's getting dark, the mountain road is not safe." These words made his face relax, secretly pleased. "Good job." He glanced at Mika Yamada, but she refused without hesitation. "No need, Fuji. I'm not used to riding in supercars." He immediately persuaded, "Although it's a supercar, the space is very spacious." "Mika," he looked at Yuto, his voice provocative. "Besides, if you don't ride in a supercar, are you going to ride in this guy's small electric car? He wouldn't even fit in it even if he wanted to give you a ride." Suddenly, car headlights shone directly in his face. He was startled, squinting and raising his hand to shield his eyes. The driver spoke up. "Whose car is this, blocking the road?" He opened the car door and stepped out, his voice raised. "Isn't this the second young master of the Fuji's family? You don't look so grand today, do you? You dare to drive a tattered car worth over 2 million. He didn't answer but immediately retorted, Shouter, why are you here? He crossed his arms, his voice angry. Don't compare me to the likes of you rich kids who only know how to spend money. My car may not be expensive, but every penny I earned myself. Fuji threatened, without your family's resources, what can you do? Even if you work yourself to death, you won't have enough money to pay for the shipping costs of my G900. Shouter ignored his attack and went straight to Yuto, cheerfully. Let's go, brother Matsushima. I didn't expect to meet you here. I'll just give everyone a ride down. He whispered something in Yuto's ear, then turned to the two beauties and said, Are these to my brother's friends? Get in the car. Soki was suspicious. Brother, can this person be trusted? Isn't he a human trafficker? He looked at Shouter and replied, Don't worry, he can't kidnap you. Shouter clutched his chest, pretending to be hurt. Little sister, you're hurting my feelings. With her brother's assurance, Soki took Mika's hand and pulled her towards the car. The senior, I think this car is quite spacious. Let's get in together. Mika Yamada was a little hesitant. Wait, Soki, for people surrounded the car. Shouter politely extended his hand in invitation. Here, brother, sit in the front. On the other side, Shinji whispered in Fuji's ear, Brother Fuji, I tried my best. It seemed like rage was building up inside him. He darkened his face, reassuring himself, Calm down, Fuji, calm down. You've been taking care of this fat sheep for so long, you absolutely can't lose your mind at this point. He turned to Shinji and said, So Shinji, I've discussed some business matters with the Yamada family. Did Uncle Yamada say anything to you? He quickly replied, What did he say to me? I can't interfere. He raised his voice, But your sister knows. Actually, Uncle Yamada is transferring the management rights of the bussiness to your sister. If this continues, there will be big trouble. You don't want to live under your sister's control for the rest of your life, do you? His words made Shinji bewildered. What do you mean, Brother Fuji? He looked at his reaction, very satisfied. A car was speeding down the road. In the car, Yuto looked at Shouter and asked, It sounds like you and the person just now have some kind of relationship. He replied vaguely, Fuji, the second young master of the Fuji family. I can't say we have a deep relationship, it's just that he's the disgrace of the rich kids in the southern. Yuto smelled gossip and became more interested. What's the story? Tell me. Shouter frowned, his face full of disgust. What do you think? He's a rich kid, doesn't cause trouble, doesn't fight, doesn't flirt with girls, but always gets the highest scores on tests. He's proficient in everything from playing chess to painting. Isn't that too perfect? Mika Yamada was puzzled. Why would such a talented person be the disgrace of the rich kids? What's wrong with that? He cried without tears, recounting his pain. Of course there is. Since I was young, I've been beaten and scolded by my dad. Why can't you be like that kid? Now that I have the chance, I won't be satisfied if I don't teach him a lesson. Yuto felt speechless after hearing this. No wonder people say you don't look like a good person. After a while, she spoke up. This is far enough. Shouter stopped the car. Mika got out of the car and said goodbye to them. I can walk the rest of the way. Thank you everyone today. Yuto grumbled. It's probably about another kilometer, right? Soki poked her head out the window, explaining for her sister doesn't like to stand out too much at school. As soon as she finished speaking, she also got out of the car and ran towards Mika Yamada. Wait a minute, let me go with you. Mika Yamada happily agreed. It's less boring with someone to accompany me, okay. Yuto watched their backs as they left, couldn't help but comment. This little Mika Yamada seems quite shrewd, but she's also an easy target. Shouter chuckled teasingly. You're not bad, Brother Matsushima. Are you playing both sides? On one side is the young miss of the Fuji family, and on the other is the school's cold beauty. He frowned and reminded him, Stop guessing. What was the news you just mentioned? He remembered that Shouter had delivered some news earlier. He grinned slyly. Brother Matsushima, I've found the 3 people you were looking for. And I've already got them under control. Just give them a little color, and it won't be long before they reveal the person behind it. Shoutas' criminal-like expression and tone made him unable to resist reminding him, You did all of this? When the police arrive, don't say it has anything to do with me. Noticing Yuto's coldness, he helplessly explained, "What are you thinking, Brother Matsushima? I definitely wouldn't do anything illegal." "Who said a little color has to be black?" He sped off in the car. After a while, they finally arrived. "Let's go, Brother Matsushima. Get out of the car and let me show you something." The place Shouter brought Yuto to was a nightclub. Two girls standing nearby saw them and, thinking they were new customers, one of them looked at them with disdain. "Who are these guys? Driving such an ugly and cheap car, yet acting so arrogant." The other girl, seeing her friend's ignorance, cursed her. "Idiot, this is a Bugatti. It's not only worth tens of millions, but there aren't many in the whole country." The other girl was so surprised that her jaw dropped. Not wanting to miss out on a good catch, she quickly ran over and grabbed Shouter's hand, coquettishly saying, "Little brother, is this your car? It's so sturdy and stylish. Can we get to know each other?" He played along, teasing, "Sure, baby, but I have something to do. I'll come find you later." She nodded in agreement. "Okay." She even used her seductive body to charm him. "Don't lie to me. I'll be waiting for you." Yuto was extremely puzzled as to why Shouter brought him here. He chuckled, mysteriously saying, "Brother Matsushima, sometimes money isn't always useful." Inside the nightclub, hot, beautiful girls were constantly dancing. It would be completely different if they were models at the club. The nightclub manager kept bringing girls into a room. Inside the room, there was a man with a scarred face, surrounded by beautiful women. Shouter led him into an empty room next to that man's room. "Brother Matsushima, the person is right next door. He hasn't come out for 2 days." He plopped down on a chair. "Those are all people I arranged. Not a single piece of information has been leaked." The manager walked in, smiling ingratiatingly at the two of them. "Mr. Shouter has arrived. If you need anything, just call me anytime." Yuto, hearing the manager say that, felt it was unnecessary. If not now, then when? He bluntly asked the manager, "Is there any way to record a video?" The manager was startled by his request. "Record a video? Don't joke around. There's a no filming rule here." That would be breaking the rules. He didn't care, flipping a coin and saying indifferently, 1 million top-up. The manager was stunned. "What?" Yuto remained expressionless, stating his request, "Just record a few videos of the people next door. If that's not enough, add another 1 million, 2 million, 5 million. Looking at the money in front of him, the manager trembled, almost unable to stand. "But still, I can't film." Yuto didn't hesitate to take the money back. "If that's the case, then forget it. It's fine." Seeing the large sum of money about to disappear from his grasp, the manager quickly ran back and grabbed his hand. "Don't." He finally gave in. "I mean, recording videos is so boring." "Boss, I'll livestream for you." The staff carried a TV screen into their room. The manager smiled ingratiatingly at them. "Sir, everything is ready. If you need anything, just call me anytime." Seeing how Yuto threw money around, Shouter felt that he was still far behind. "Brother Matsushima, I thought I was extravagant enough, but it turns out money can be used this way." The TV screen showed the entire scene of the people in the next room. Looking at what was happening in the next room made him feel a little disgusted. "I don't want to watch such a salty taste. But there's no other way. Isn't life about satisfying anger?" Shouter asked him with a wry smile, "Brother Matsushima, if I hadn't given in back then, would you have treated me like this too?" He didn't answer. Shouter continued to watch the situation next door. In that room, the scarred man was playing with a girl. The girl was a little scared and pushed him away. "Brother, your way of playing is so weird. It costs extra money." He's not ashamed, but he even said, "That's perverted." "But maybe you don't know our boss's tricks yet." Yuto focused on listening to what the guy said. "Our boss, too, a female student, even arranged a group of people at the hospital to make things difficult for her." "What do you mean by making things difficult?" The girl asked him nervously. "Isn't it to woo her?" "Why make things difficult for her?" The man with the scar smirked. "Come closer, I'll tell you." Then he leaned closer to the girl and continued, "My boss not only wants to be the hero saving the damsel, but he also likes to see people in their most miserable state." The girl was frightened by his words and expression, breaking out in a cold sweat. He continued, think about it, first let the school's beauty lose her reputation. When she's most desperate, the boss will appear. If it were you, wouldn't you be touched? After that, whatever he says is right. Images forbidden for children under 18 appeared in her mind. The girl anxiously said to him, thinking like that, your boss really is a pervert. That beauty is very miserable now, right? The man with the scar frowned in annoyance and replied, nothing happened. The plan was disrupted by a fool. I was going to teach him a lesson, but he got lucky and escaped. Yuto had been observing their conversation. He rubbed his chin, recalling what the guy had said. If you like meddling in other people's business, don't blame me for teaching you a lesson. Yuto thought, so that's it. No wonder he came to me. In the room, the girl still wondered, who is your boss? Nothing else, just want to stay away from him in the future. The man with the scar asked her back, do you think I can tell you? As soon as he finished speaking, a subordinate suddenly burst through the door and said, brother, there's an appointment with someone at the hotel later. It's probably time to prepare for Miss Yamada's birthday party, right? The man with the scar gritted his teeth and replied, yes. Hurry up. If the delay affects the boss's plan, we will be punished. Yuto, observing from the other side, suddenly exclaimed, if I'm not mistaken, the person behind that scarred face is Shinji Yamada. Shata was furious upon hearing this. If it's really that brat, I'll make sure he suffers. Daring to compete with my brother, let's see if he's worthy. Seeing his anger, Yuto could only give up. All right, it's up to you. Then he turned to ask Shata, I'm leaving. Do you still want to stay here? Shouta winked and replied with a smile, of course. There are so many beautiful girls out there waiting for me. Before he could finish, he suddenly looked embarrassed and changed his tone. No, I have to wait a little longer. Yuto stood up and left, only telling him, contact me if you have any news. Yuto walked past the beauties, pondering, even so, Mika Yamada was only targeted. She can't be considered a major victim. He wondered, does he have any other purpose? At this moment, the system announced, detected the aura of the great victimizer. The system continued, resolving the major victim within the time limit will grant a random reward. Hearing this, Yuto looked around, searching for the target. Old Wang and his subordinates appeared, looking at the sensually dressed girl in front of them, and laughed. You really came. He continued, you look really beautiful in this outfit, am I right, Ms. Sawai? Seeing old Wang about to grab her, Ms. Sawai quickly dodged. All right. She blushed and said to him, you guys said, if I wear this, I'll get an extension of 3 more months. Old Wang laughed loudly. Ms. Sawai, you're so funny. Wearing black stockings can reduce the debt by 100,000. Are there such good things in this world? The man with old Wang also came closer and teased Ms. Sawai. Girl, if there was such a thing, would it be your turn? Then take it off for me. I'll wear it every day. Ms. Sawai anxiously said to the two of them, you clearly agreed. Old Wang reassured her, don't be impatient. Aren't we here to discuss? But then he pointed to a nearby pole and continued, Ms. Sawai, how about this? You go up and dance for a bit, not too long, just 5 minutes. Before Ms. Sawai had a chance to refuse, he set the condition, dance for 5 minutes, and I'll agree to extend your loan for another 3 months. Ms. Sawai blushed and said to him, but I don't know how to dance. Old Wang waved his hand. Does it matter if you know or not? We just need your attitude. Then he stepped forward and patted her shoulder, persuading, Ms. Sawai, you don't want to be late on your online loan and have the school leaders and your classmates see it, do you? Having no other choice, Ms. Sawai tremblingly agreed. All right, you said so don't change your mind. Old Wang laughed triumphantly. Don't worry, just like that. Under the gaze of many men, Ms. Sawai blushed and stepped onto the stage, hugging the pole. Old Wang watched her standing there, thinking, those with stable jobs will eventually have to pay back the money. Then other dark thoughts popped into his head. The important thing is there are still things to play with. After she finished performing, watching her video again, wouldn't I be able to control her freely? He seemed extremely pleased with his dirty thoughts. I didn't expect that in desperation, doing this job would give me a chance to develop again. In his memory, he had once begged someone, "Don't, Fujiwara, please give me another chance." Recalling that time, he was extremely angry. That bitch, Masa. When I had nothing left, she ran away. Didn't expect this, did you? This old man can still make a comeback. Back on stage, as Ms. Sawi was about to dance with the pole, Yuto suddenly appeared, stopping her. "Ms. Sawai?" "Don't be fooled. Ms. Sawi was surprised to see him here, Yuto." Yuto told her. "I overheard the conversation next door. Trust me, those two bad guys won't leave you alone. They will definitely use this to threaten you." Old Wang, seeing his good deed interrupted, angrily rushed forward and shouted, "Damn it! Who are you? What are you doing here?" Yuto turned around, looking at him coldly. "Forgot who I am? Do you need me to remind you?" Seeing Yuto's aura, old Wang trembled slightly, but he quickly put on a brave face. "Debts must be paid. That's the law of heaven and earth." "What do you want to do?" Yuto looked at him, sneering. "A loan must be repaid." Old Wang thought to himself, "Damn it, it's this unlucky guy again. Is he going to interfere with my business again?" Yuto turned to remind her of something. "Ms. Sawai, I have to tell you something." As he spoke, their expressions turned pale. "If you have evidence proving that the group lending you money online has extremely high interest rates and threatens with violent debt collection, you only need to repay the principal." Ms. Sawi's eyes welled up with tears, her face grateful, realizing, "Is that really so?" Old Wang's subordinate interrupted, shouting, "What? Only repay the principal, the contract is clearly in black and white." Old Wang shouted, cutting him off, "Don't say another word." Yuto warned the old fox in front of him, "But if I find out that you are still scamming or using loans to commit fraud, then the nature will be completely different." He applied psychological pressure on his opponent. "I remember the bank refused to lend you money, right? Where did you get the principal from? Or should I find someone to investigate?" He faltered, adding, "At least, the principal amount." Seeing old Wang trying to salvage some profit, Yuto gave him a loving look. Receiving the affectionate gaze, old Wang and his accomplice immediately pressed the button to disappear on the spot. "I'm not taking the money anymore. Don't contact me again," he panicked, making his accomplice also panic. "Brother Wang." "Wait for me, Brother Wang." After the incident, Yuto and Ms. Sawi left together. She stammered, "Saki's brother, thank you this time." Seeing her shyness, he introduced himself. "My name is Yuto." Ms. Sawai then explained her situation. "I'm sorry, my father was in a traffic accident and needed money urgently. I really had no other choice, but he didn't ask further, only advising her, be more careful in the future. This kind of person, the more you comply, the more they will push." Ms. Sawi sincerely confessed, "I usually know, and I tell students not to get involved in online loans." The beauty was shy, blaming herself. "But myself, unexpectedly when encountering it, I couldn't stay calm. I'm such a failure." Yuto didn't say anything more, only comforting her. "All right, don't blame yourself too much. It's so late, I'll call a taxi to take you back to school." For some reason, Ms. Sawai stopped him. "I can't go back to school." She looked at herself and explained, "It's not appropriate for me to go back in the middle of the night wearing this." He suggested another way. "Then stay at a hotel." Ms. Sawi hesitantly agreed. Late at night, the two agreed to go to a nearby hotel. They walked slowly inside in the middle of the night. Upon entering, Yuto asked the receptionist, "Please get me a room." The hotel staff quickly got to work. "Yes, please wait a moment." Next to her was a girl who was yawning continuously. She had noticed Yuto and Ms. Sawai. "Over here," he told her. "Go on up, I'm going home." She cheerfully replied, "Thank you, Brother Yuto." Hearing that, Yuto was surprised and confused. Ms. Sawai realized she had misspoken, thinking to herself awkwardly, "I was going to call him Yuto or Saki's brother. Why did I call him that?" Meanwhile, the girl standing next to Kumi kept calling her. Kumi wondered, "What's wrong, manager?" She showed Kumi something on her phone. "Look, Is it this person? After a moment, Kumi was instantly frozen stiff when she recognized him. She also exclaimed in agreement as she looked at Yuto. That's right. The manager whispered something, looking very tense. She panicked. What should I do? He turned and urged, Are you not done yet? The manager pushed Kumi aside to deal with him. She stammered, I'm sorry, the standard room you booked is full. Currently, we only have a themed super room left. We can upgrade you for free. Is that okay? Meanwhile, Kumi took the opportunity to transform into a superhero and fly off somewhere. Ms. SAWAO wondered, There are such things. You won't charge any other hidden fees, will you? The manager reassured, Don't worry, our Athon hotel wouldn't do anything that lowers our dignity. If you're not at ease, I can take you to see the room. Yuto patiently decided to follow. Then let's see. She showed them the way. Please come this way. A couple was also walking towards them nearby. The nightclub employee was acting coquettishly next to Shouter. I wonder if we can buy candles here. What do you think, young master? He looked towards Yuto and immediately recognized him. Isn't that Big Brother? On Yuto's side, they were led to an elevator to go to the room. The manager introduced, This is the dedicated elevator for the themed super room. Now you can go directly to the room. Seeing something, both of them were surprised. Yuto asked incredulously, Are you serious with this theme? The manager assured, Don't worry, all the amenities here, including the waterbed, hanging rings, and double bathtub, are free for you to use. Ms. SAWAO wandered around, and as she opened the curtain, she cried out in fright. Yuto noticed and asked what was wrong. What's up? Inside were fun toys for those who wanted a night of back pain. Both of them froze for 5 seconds. Ms. Sawai panicked, wanting to ask clearly. The manager reassured, Don't worry, these items are all disposable, completely safe and clean. If you're satisfied, you can take the whole set home without any extra charge. At this point, his face was as red as a tomato. Is that important? She made an excuse to leave. Then I won't bother you any longer. If you need anything, feel free to contact me anytime. The manager quickly left. Yuto awkwardly looked at Ms. Sawai. Then the tough young man decided to leave instead of enjoying himself. I'm leaving too. You can stay here alone and handle the whole night. It's not easy. A moment later, she touched his hand. Wanting to say something, Ms. Sawai shyly spoke sincerely. Yuto, there's something I must tell you. Ms. SAWAO gripped his arm tightly as if wanting to say something important. Yuto, there's something I must tell you? Seeing that expression made him question life. Go ahead, Ms. SAWAO, tell me. Still with the same shy expression, she spoke self-reproachfully. I want to apologize about SAKI's incident in the dormitory. I only found out later that someone was behind her. She explained further, as a teacher, I should have realized sooner and clarified the truth. I didn't care enough and understand my students enough. I apologize to both of you. Yuto was relieved. So it's this. Then he comforted her. Ms. Sawai, I've already dealt with that Shinji Yamada. As for Soki, I've also arranged for her to move to a single apartment. Don't worry, Ms. Sawai, she awkwardly asked further, can you tell me SAKI's current address? I'll also talk to her privately about this. He smiled and agreed, no problem. The scene changed to another location. At the elevator, Yuto was standing there when he saw someone approaching. It was Shouter. He greeted him friendly. Brother. Finally found your weakness. Yuto laughed scornfully and asked, Why are you here? He grinned smugly. I saw you bring a girl up. He smirked. The timing isn't very good, is it? Or should I give you a tonic for your health? But Yuto ignored him, turned around, and left a sentence. I just met my sister's acquaintance, just to make sure she's safe and resting. Shouter still didn't give up and poked. I understand. Friend in the morning, little darling at midnight, right? At this moment, the manager came to Yuto and hesitantly called. Sir, she asked anxiously. Are you leaving? Are you dissatisfied with our preparations? However, Yuto just coldly asked back. I didn't say I was staying here, did I? Is there a problem? The manager became even more worried and replied, So, your sudden inspection came too quickly. If there's anything unsatisfactory, please let me know. The entire hotel will try to fix it immediately. Hearing this, Yuto was even more dumbfounded. A surprise inspection. Contrary to him, the female manager's face was drained of blood, and she replied, "Yes." "Didn't you come for an inspection?" Yuto approached and continued to ask, "Why should I do an inspection?" The more panicked she became, she still replied, "Because you are our newly appointed largest shareholder." She then took out her phone, much to Yuto's surprise. After a moment, she held the phone screen in front of him and explained, "The announcement was just issued. I saw it right away. I thought you came specifically for a surprise inspection." At this moment, the system displayed a notification, "Limited time mission completed. Reward received, control of Arthur Group." Now he understood everything and thought, so it was the reward I haven't had time to look at yet. Seeing that, Shouter, standing next to him, teased, "Well done, brother, you really know how to play." He came closer and continued to tease, "To leave no trace, you bought a separate hotel to enjoy yourself. I have to say, the young masters I know are far inferior to you." Yuto just gently pointed at him and said to the female manager, "You're the manager, right? Strictly check this kid and the papers of the person staying with him. If they're not complete, they're not allowed to check in." She had no choice but to nod politely and reply, "I understand, sir." At this point, Shouter pleaded, "Don't be so serious, brother. I've already prepared the little ones. Now you're telling me to change places. It's ruining the mood." After failing to persuade him, he pleaded with the female manager, "Sister, my brother is very familiar with your boss. He's just joking." Yuto left the mess and walked out of the hotel. The next morning, the morning sunlight was gentle, shining everywhere. A voice echoed, "Yuto, how's this braised pork?" Yuto ate and kept praising, "It's very fragrant, just like when I was in school." Mrs. Shen smiled gently and said, "It's good that you can eat. Thanks to you, Auntie is healthy again, and my body is much more comfortable. Going out to dance is no problem, and I even got asked for my WeChat by an old man." At this moment, Wataru Yamaguchi came over and whispered in Yuto's ear, "Yuto, the more than $700,000 you paid will be refunded. I'll return the rest to you slowly." He immediately frowned and said, "Return it to me. Hurry up. Quickly earn money and settle the marriage with Yuki to reassure Aunt Shen." Wataru Yamaguchi's face was bitter, and he sighed, "Don't mention it." Yuto saw through him and said bluntly, "Don't beat around the bush, just say what's going on." Wataru Yamaguchi didn't hide it anymore and revealed his problem. "Yuki has been avoiding me lately. We rarely communicate with each other." After hearing this, Yuto simply asked, "I remember Yuki is working at the auto show, right?" Wataru Yamaguchi felt curious and asked back, "That's right, what's wrong?" Yuto didn't hesitate to put down his chopsticks and said, "Let's go." Just in time to look at cars, after that, the two of them went to a tall and magnificent building. People were crowding to see cars. Yuki saw them here and couldn't help but wonder, "Wataru Yamaguchi, brother Matsushima, why are you two here?" Wataru Yamaguchi stepped forward and replied, "Yuto came to see the cars. You're familiar with this, can you help him with the introductions?" She smiled awkwardly and replied, "Sure, I happen to have some free time, so, brother, let's go over there." Wataru Yamaguchi saw something was wrong with her and asked, "Wait a minute, Yuki, what happened to your knee?" She quickly made up an excuse to cover it up. "I accidentally bumped into something." Wataru Yamaguchi became even more anxious and asked repeatedly, "Bumped into something? How did you bump into it?" Yuki just brushed off his concern. "Don't ask anymore." One of Yuko's colleagues saw this and sneered, "Our pure and innocent Yuki is still relying on a rich guy." Another one came over and chimed in. She was told to move materials, but she moved them into a client's arms. Shameless. Wataru Yamaguchi frowned uncomfortably. "What are you talking about?" "This is my girlfriend." Then he turned to Yuko and asked, "Are these to your colleagues?" Hearing him ask, she could only vaguely confirm. At this point, Yuto finally spoke up for them. "Yuki, when did you transfer to a cosmetic surgery hospital? Those two colleagues look like mass-produced robots." The colleague continued to sneer. "I remember now. Isn't this Yuki's poor boyfriend? The other one stood beside her, adding fuel to the fire. He's both poor and outdated. Let me tell you, I've had to thermage treatments on my face. Your combined annual income probably isn't enough, Yuki angrily reasoned with the two mean female colleagues. If you're so rich, why didn't you compensate me for the material loss yesterday? The long-haired mean female colleague arrogantly denied. Excuse me? You couldn't walk steadily and fell, damaging the materials. Why are you asking us for money? The two of them mocked Yuki. I think she's really gone crazy from being poor. Yes. Why didn't she ask the floor for money after falling? Yuki's face paled as she accused the two of them. It was clear that when I walked past you, you tripped me. Recalling the situation at that time, the mean female colleague bumped into Yuki while she was carrying a box of materials, causing her to stagger. Her two knees hit the ground hard. Yuki fell sprawling on the ground. The long-haired mean female colleague saw her like this and stood gloating. This place is a total of 2,000. It seems you have to pay. Understanding everything, Wataru Yamaguchi felt sorry for Yuki. So that's how these injuries came about. It must have hurt a lot, right? Yuki turned to comfort him. It's okay, it's just a scrape. The two mean female colleagues continued to mock Yuki. What are you pretending to be pitiful for? So it turns out she'd do anything to get so many orders. Now she's pretending to be pure here. Wataru Yamaguchi took Yuki's hand, glared at the two mean girls, and demanded, apologize to her. He grabbed the long-haired girl's hand and angrily shouted, I won't allow you to insult my girlfriend. Apologize to her, the girl with the bun scolded Wataru Yamaguchi. Are you crazy? The long-haired girl called for help. Honey, come here quickly. Immediately, her backup appeared. It was Mr. Yang. He asked loudly, who laid a hand on my precious number 1 and number 2. He walked towards Wataru Yamaguchi and the two mean girls. The long-haired girl immediately complained, Honey, it was these people, they grabbed my hand, it was so scary. Mourinyan was looking at the cars when she suddenly saw Yuto. She asked him, Brother Yuto, why are you here? Hearing the call, Yuto noticed Mourinyan. She then talked to him, I'm here to buy something for my dad. What happened? Inside the auto show, Mr. Young and the two mean girls stood opposite Yuto's group. Mr. Young crossed his arms and arrogantly demanded, You're Miss Ito's friend, right? In that case, apologize to my precious, and we'll consider this matter over. Yuto mocked him. We apologize? Is there something wrong with your head? He didn't answer Yuto but said to Mourinyan, Miss Ito, your friend doesn't give me face, so I won't be polite either. Mourinyan gently told him, Is that so? Then feel free to be impolite. Of course, you'll bear the consequences yourself. Hearing Mourinyan's words, he asked in shock, What do you mean? Mourinyan crossed her arms and replied, Exactly what I said. Also, our agreement can be put aside for now. Mr. Young looked at Yuto, wondering, What is this kid's relationship with Miss Ito? Why does she value him so much? The two mean girls standing behind him acted coquettishly. Honey, I can't apologize to that poor girl. It's too embarrassing. It's embarrassing for you too, honey. He pondered silently. Losing the family's order could result in a loss of over $1 million in profit. The girl with the bun coquettishly promised, Honey, if you're good to me, I'll be good to you too. The long-haired girl stuck out her tongue cutely. What you've always wanted isn't impossible. Hearing this, she revealed a lewd expression, throwing all his calculations out the window. He waved his hand and said loudly, Sorry, my precious did nothing wrong in this matter, otherwise, go call the police. Mourinyan refused to back down, threatening him. Then I also want to retract the agreement we just made. Yuto put his hand on her shoulder, stopping her. No need, Mourinyan. He turned and walked towards the exit. Mourinyan stared blankly after him, while Mr. Young smiled smugly. Yuto, along with Wataru Yamaguchi, Yuki, and Mourinyan, walked out of the auto show. Mourinyan apologized to him. Brother, I caused you trouble just now. Yuto calmly replied, It's okay, it wasn't any trouble. Mourinyan smiled and wondered, I didn't expect Brother Matsushima to be so kind today, letting him off so easily. He turned around and said to Mourinyan, What? Are you saying I'm the type to hold grudges? She immediately affirmed, You are. Wataru Yamaguchi also joined in the fun, adding fuel to the fire. I can testify that she's right. Yuto suddenly turned his head and praised Mourinho. But it's true, Mourinho, you're a kind person? This made her ask in surprise, what do you mean? Inside the auto show, the two mean girls kept flattering Mr. Young. Honey, you're so amazing. Tonight, I'll make you feel like you're in heaven. The phone in his pocket vibrated with a message. He took out his phone, opened it, and mocked Yuto. A poor kid wants to show off in front of me. Didn't he just run away with his tail between his legs? Suddenly, Mr. Yang's face changed. His eyes widened, stunned by the bad news. He wondered, stop supplying goods, is that possible? He carefully read the message, not only stopping, but also. This time, all car brands have immediately stopped supplying goods to me. He muttered to himself, if this is true, every undelivered order will have to be compensated with a large sum of money. Mr. Young clutched his head. How is this possible? How is this possible? Who has the power to do this? That poor kid. At this moment, the girl with the bun, unaware of what had happened, smiled and asked him, Honey, why aren't you saying anything? Are you too happy to speak? Mr. Yang, taking his anger out on her, turned and yelled at her, Damn it. Get out of my sight. He turned and yelled at the long-haired girl too. Both of you, get out. Outside the auto show, Yuto squinted and smiled, looking at his phone. He gently said to Mourinho, It's okay, just wait to receive a few million in compensation, if you can still afford it. The car sped down the road. Yuki drove while happily saying, Brother Matsushima, you just bought such a nice new car and let me drive it. Aren't you afraid I'll damage it? Yuto sat in the back seat and replied with a smile, Yes, consider it a test for you. Yuki jokingly said to him, Brother, are you planning to make me your driver? She didn't expect Yuto to nod in agreement. That's right. Interested, all benefits and treatment are good. Yuki readily agreed. Of course, as long as brother trusts me, the salary is up to you. Anyway, you won't be like that Mr. Yang, less trouble for me is good. Wataru Yamaguchi, sitting in the passenger seat, was still angry, cursing. Those bastards at the auto show. Yuki, you should have told me earlier. I wouldn't have let you suffer like that. Yuki spoke to soothe him. It's okay, Wataru Yamaguchi. Your mother was sick a while ago. I know you were under a lot of pressure. I didn't want to distract you further. She smiled at him, comforting him. I also thought I could just endure it for a while. It's just a small scrape. Wataru Yamaguchi felt sorry for her. Yuki, I let you suffer. She gently told him, It's okay, as long as I have you, I won't suffer. Yuto in the back seat spoke up. How about I be the driver for you too? Don't let me interrupt you too. Yuto's face suddenly changed, and he shouted, Watch out, watch out. Yuki slammed on the brakes, the car nearly hitting the white car in front. Yuki apologized to him. Sorry, Brother Matsushima, I mean boss. The car stopped at a tall building. Yonogi was waiting there and said, You little brat, you still remember me? She asked Yuto, You told me to come down here so urgently. What are your orders? Yuto put his arm around Yuki and told her, This is your boss. You can call her sister Yonogi. He introduced Yuki to Yonogi. Her name is Yuka. She be your personal driver from now on. Yonogi smiled with interest. Personal driver, I have this kind of treatment. Yuki smiled and gestured towards the car, inviting Yonogi. Sister, Brother Matsushima has already prepared a new car for you. Yuto also told Yonogi, Try it. Yonogi approached, praising Yuto. You still have a conscience. It wasn't in vain that I rented this office building for you, running up and down. Go up and have a look. At this moment, his phone rang. He said, Wait a moment. He asked the person on the other end, Ms. Sawai, what's wrong? Hearing what she said, he seriously asked, What did you say? Shinji Yamada sneaked into Soki's dormitory. I'll be right there. Yuto instructed Yonogi. You take Yuki to familiarize herself with things. I have something to do. She sighed and replied, All right. He turned and walked away. Yuki and Yonogi stood watching him. Yonogi looked at him with affectionate eyes. She secretly determined, Next time, I won't let you run away, at the female dormitory of Wucheng School. The dormitory manager chased Shinji Yamada with a broom. "I'll beat you to death. I'll beat you to death. What are you doing running to the female dormitory, pervert?" He ran away in a panic, denying everything. "Auntie, what are you doing? Auntie, ma'am." Ms. Sawi appeared, spreading her arms to stop the female dormitory manager. Auntie, please stop hitting him. He's my student." Shinji Yamada stood behind, panting. The dormitory manager brandished her broom, still wanting to charge forward and yell, "Student." Which student would pick locks? Shinji backed away, accidentally bumping into Yuto. His face turned pale, and he looked up at him. Yuto immediately grabbed his hand. He twisted Shinji's arm to one side, raised it high, and asked, "Where are you running?" Shinji grimaced and cried out, "My hand, it's broken." He opened his mouth in pain. Yuto then taped his mouth shut. Ms. Sawi turned around and saw Yuto. One hand held Shinji across his body, the other gripped his wrist. She described the situation at the dormitory. She saw Shinji Yamada from outside. He was climbing the stairs. She followed him from behind. He looked around to see if anyone was there. Then, Shinji took out a piece of wire. Ms. Sawi hid behind the wall, witnessing him trying to pick the lock. Shinji was tied up, sitting on the ground. Ms. Sawi said to Yuto, "Then I took the dorm manager over and contacted you." She handed him a notebook and said, "This is what he sneaked into Saki's room to take. See if it's an important document." Yuto looked at the notebook. He recognized it as the new energy plan. He held up the notebook and asked Ms. Sawi, "This doesn't look like Soki's." "Where did he get it?" She immediately replied, "It's 207, that's right. I think he took the wrong one." Yuto reminded her, "Ms. Sawi, Soki's room is opposite 207, it's 209. She asked in surprise, "What?" She immediately removed the tape from Shinji's mouth. "I'm sorry." "Sorry, Mr. Yamada, I misunderstood you." She blamed herself. "How could I remember the wrong room?" She untied Shinji. He was angry with her. "I went to my sister's room to get something. So what?" "Let me tell you, if you don't give me an explanation for today, you'd better watch out." He was startled when he saw the notebook fall on the ground. Yuto asked him, "So what? Does your sister know you snuck into her room to steal? Should I call her over?" He immediately refused. "That's between me and my sister." At this time, a policewoman ran over and asked, "Who called the police?" The dorm manager spoke up. "It was me, officer." Shinji sat on the ground, pointing at Yuto, accusing, "He hit me, and this person broke my arm." Wong Manting, who arrived, was Manting. She narrowed her eyes slightly, annoyed. "Who is he? This little brat is really asking for a beating." She then said to Shinji, Let's go back and understand the situation first." Suddenly, she looked up and was startled. She called out to confirm, "Yuto." He also recognized her as Manting. At this moment, still talking about the situation, Yuto sat on the chair, restless and embarrassed, just wanting to run away immediately. Manting acted as a mediator between the two sides, silently observing the situation for a few seconds before asking, "Any thoughts?" "Both sides speak up," Mika replied without hesitation. "Sorry, we're dropping the charges." After saying that, she left her seat and calmly told her younger brother, Shinji, "Follow me." Shinji himself was extremely surprised by her decision. He expressed his dissatisfaction. "Drop the charges." "Are you kidding? Look what I've become. I can't even lift my arm." Shinji held his arm, his face covered in sweat. He pointed at Yuto and said, "This guy has to apologize to me and compensate me." Mika lost her patience and sternly scolded, "Shinji, do you think you haven't caused enough trouble?" She bluntly questioned, "I won't argue with you about the document matter first. You said before that with me in Wucheng looking after you, you wouldn't mess around. Our family gives you a separate allowance every month." Mika turned and left, her expression firm as she said, "Now you're not willing to listen to me. Fine, then I'll also have Mom and Dad cancel this allowance." Shinji was scared and hurriedly chased after her, pleading, "No, don't, sister." He immediately compromised, "I'll listen to you, but we can just go home. I went to look at the documents. Wasn't it also to help you share the burden?" Mika calmly reminded him, "No need. just manage yourself well. Shinji replied with 7 parts caution and 3 parts helplessness. Yes, yes. Don't worry, sister, it won't happen again. Mika sighed, but still cared about her younger brother, asking, does your arm still hurt? I'll take you to the hospital. Shinji didn't dare to be stubborn anymore, swinging his arm a few times without difficulty, smiling and saying, it doesn't hurt anymore. I can even rotate it. Let's go, sister, let's go eat. Yuto just wanted to leave immediately. Well, the other party has dropped the charges, so I'll be going now. However, a voice stopped him. Who said you could leave? Hearing the serious words behind him, Yuto stopped. Manting crossed her legs and informed him, the other party dropping the charges only means the civil case is dropped. Your examination report, if it's more than a minor injury, it counts as a criminal case. She took out her handcuffs and continued, then I can also arrest you. Yuto paled and said, but where's the report result? Manting smiled and replied, it's not out yet. Ms. Sawoi outside had overheard Manting's words. She was extremely worried. Arrest, is it that serious? Thinking so, she pushed the door open and panicked. Officer, I can testify. She expressed, at that time, Mr. Yuto was like that unintentionally. Can the possibility of arrest be reduced? Manting was very puzzled by Ms. Sawai's way of addressing him, so she asked, Mr. Yuto. Ms. Sawai's heart trembled slightly. I spoke too quickly and said it wrong. Fearing the situation would worsen, Yuto advised Ms. Sawai to retreat first. All right. Ms. Sawai, you go back first. I can handle this myself. If I need a witness, I'll look for you. Ms. Sawai asked worriedly and suspiciously. Really? Yuto reassured her. Don't worry. Finally, Ms. Sawai decided to retreat. Then I'll go write the report first. Remember to call me anytime. Yuto softly hummed in response from inside. Yuto observed outside, seeing Ms. Sawai leave in a fluster. Manting softly called him, Mr. Yuto. She couldn't help but tease. So you like this type? No wonder you haven't contacted me for so many years. You must have forgotten me long ago, right? Yuto asked awkwardly. Didn't you dump me before? Yuto thought to himself, that's right, Manting is my first love. Strictly speaking, she was my senior back then. Being arrested by my first love at the police station. Is there any more awkward reunion than this? Manting turned around, pretending to agree. All right, I understand. A young man doesn't know a good girl, mistaking his senior for a treasure. Yuto hurriedly explained, I have no relationship with her. She's just Soki's homeroom teacher. Not long after, a policeman walked in and handed the results to Manting. Manting, the test report is here. Manting replied softly, thank you, Mr. John. Glancing at the results in her hand, Manting said, consider yourself lucky. It's a minor injury. Yuto had been waiting for this moment. He asked, then can I go now? But Manting stopped him again and again. Not yet. She put her hat on and suggested at the same time, I'm just off work. Let's go shopping together very quickly. The two left. Arriving at the high-end apartment, Manting opened the door and bent down to take off her shoes. She said to Yuto, all right, come in. Yuto was extremely puzzled. Yes. Officer Wang, didn't you say you wanted to go shopping? Why are we at your house? Manting calmly asked back, don't I need to change my clothes? She impatiently pulled Yuto into the house, just in time. I can use you. Yuto panicked. If there's anything, let's talk slowly. Don't do anything. Looking at the mess in the house, he exclaimed, this is too messy. Manting went inside and said, that's right. Otherwise, why would I ask you to come in? Just in time to help me clean up. Yuto asked blankly, me. Manting sprawled naturally on the bed, without any reservation, and said, that's right. You helped me clean up a few times back in school. Hurry up. Others don't even have this opportunity. Yuto didn't refuse, and then kindly cleaned the room for her. During this time, Manting didn't stay idle, but interrogated him. Tell me, how many people have you dated in these years? She also emphasized, tell the truth. Don't try to fool me. Yuto awkwardly confessed, I've only had one serious relationship, and we've broken up now. Without saying a word, Manting rushed over and kicked him. Yuto asked in confusion. What are you doing? Manting put her foot close to Yuto's face, pretending to be aggrieved. I haven't touched another man in so many years. How dare you? Yuto grabbed her foot and angrily replied, after breaking up, I'm not allowed to date freely. Are you affecting the birth policy by doing this? In response to Yuto's question, Manting denied, did I break up with you? Who mentioned it? Yuto affirmed, you left without a word back then, and didn't give a reason. Wasn't that implicitly agreeing to break up? He wondered, speaking of which, where did you go back then? I asked so many people and couldn't find any information. Manting showed no mercy, setting a condition, want to know. Fold my bras for me first. Yuto obediently followed Manting's words. While he was folding the underwear, she quickly took out her phone and recorded this precious scene. Manting exclaimed innocently, I accidentally pressed the camera button. Just in time to save the evidence of the crime. If this kind of thing gets out, what will happen to a girl's reputation? Yuto exclaimed in shock, oh my god, you're fishing law enforcement. Manting clutched her phone and let out a sly chuckle. Seeing Yuto's disagreement, Manting threatened, you wouldn't want Uncle and Soki to find out you're this kind of person, would you? He frowned unhappily and replied, I give up. What do you want to do? She held up her phone, her voice mocking, I haven't thought of it yet. Anyway, you'll go choose a gift with me next week first. It's my dad's 60th birthday. He immediately changed his attitude. I'll go when I have time. She angrily grabbed Yuto's collar. You must have time. Then she stood up, held his head down, and said excitedly, let's go out shopping. Seeing this, he responded with attitude, you haven't even changed your clothes yet. Then she opened the wardrobe, then you choose, which one do you want to see me wear? She put on her glasses and said playfully, dominatrix or junior schoolgirl, I can do both. Seeing her like this, Yuto couldn't help but blush. Suddenly her phone rang, she said angrily, no way, at this time. She picked up the phone, need to increase police force. Okay, I'm coming. Seeing that she was busy, he winked, officer, it seems like you don't have time now. She raised her hand, look, there's an emergency over there. He looked out the balcony in confusion, there's nothing, is there a fire or a fight somewhere? She moved closer to him, he subconsciously turned his head, and their lips touched. She pointed to her lips, it's here, the emergency is, don't forget me. After saying that, she turned and left, putting on her police cap. Now I have to go uphold justice. He watched her leave. Uphold justice sounds just like something this fool would say. He stretched, just in time. I should go do my own work next. In front of a high-rise building, Akira Yamada greeted Yuto through the screen. Sir, we're ready. Fujiwara continued. Sir, you summoned us urgently. Is there any business you need us to do? He replied coldly. I'm not here for business. I'm just here to scold people. The old man was puzzled and asked, scold people? He shouted angrily, look at you guys, together you're enough to support half the economy of the Southern District. I asked you to investigate someone, and you're not even as good as an ordinary rich second generation. The other three hurriedly explained, sorry, sir, investigating and searching for individual targets is really not our specialty. Right, there are specialized departments for that. Sir, if you need to investigate a company, we guarantee higher efficiency than any other agency. He smiled slyly. You said that? I just happen to have a company I want to investigate. This time, there's no competition. I'll invest 1 billion NASDAQ in each of you. I expect you to build an information agency that serves only me. All information resources will be shared here. The three of them were shocked and hurriedly asked, 1 billion NASDAQ, sir, are you serious? He spread his hands and replied leisurely, of course, the premise is to do a good job. In his mind, he thought, 1 billion NASDAQ sounds like a lot, but it's only a few $1,000s. Using half a month's profit to build my own intelligence network. Cheap, cheap. The director of ABC Trust Company chuckled. Don't worry, sir, for most companies, as long as we at Welcome are willing, there will absolutely be no secrets. As ATO continued, even what time the toilet is empty, we'll make it clear for you. After hearing this, he gave instructions. I want to investigate a new French energy company. This is the new energy plan. If Mika is a fool, it's very likely that the company she's preparing to cooperate with has problems. The scene changed to Shouter's house. A girl asked coquettishly, "Honey, what's wrong?" He gasped and replied, "I can't do it anymore. I'm so dizzy. I definitely can't do it today." She picked something up. "If you can't, then let me do it." Then she pressed herself against him. He asked suspiciously, "What are you doing?" She whispered evilly into his ear, "Shouter, the room service gave us a lot of fun toys. I want to try them. It would be a waste not to use them." He hurriedly ran away. But it was too late. Don't even think about it. A scream rang out, making the people below jump. Shouter was sweating profusely, thinking, "I can't go back to that room anymore." At this time, the waiter also brought the food. "Mr. Nijima, this is a body-nourishing soup for you. Drinking it will help you recover." He opened the lid. "Your hotel even has such thoughtful service." The waitress smiled, replying, "It's all the instructions of the boss." Shouter, drinking it gulpingly, said, "That boss isn't you, is it? It's still Mr. Matsushima who thinks of me." The waitress recalled Yuto's instructions. "That's right, my friend has that hobby. Do you understand? You can prepare some props for him. Of course, using them is also very harmful to his health. You guys prepare some blood-replenishing tonics for him?" The waiter quickly replied, "Yes, boss, you can rest assured." Yuto, on this side, smiled lightly. "With this set, this kid probably won't mention the hotel anymore." Someone then spoke, "Stop talking nonsense," on this side. The scarred man angrily shouted loudly, "Carry it up first. Be careful, if you break it, you'll die." The voice had attracted Shouter's attention. He glanced over, thinking, "Isn't that the subordinate of that kid Fuji?" Then he turned to ask Director Eliu, "What's going on?" He said hesitantly, "This gentleman on the top floor of the hotel wants to organize a birthday party. These are some props." Hearing this, Shouter turned his head back. "Birthday party? Could it be for Mika?" He replied, "It's indeed for her." "You also know her?" Director Liu said. Shouter also knew that he was arrogant and said loudly, "Of course I know, because this birthday party is being prepared for the girl of your boss." Director Eliu, hearing this, smiled awkwardly, asking, "Sir, please explain clearly." He said clearly, "To put it simply, this kid wants to snatch a woman from my big brother. The boss of you people. Should I quickly cancel it?" He then revealed a sinister smile. "Cancel it? Why? Make it bigger the better." He looked around and then smiled. Scarface Man looked around once then smiled. "Not bad, Director Eliu. This scene arrangement isn't bad." Saying this, he took out a powerful black card. "Here's your gift. Consider the extra as a reward from Mr. Fuji." Saying this, Director Eliu raised his hand, forcing a smile in reply. "No, money doesn't matter. The key is to organize Miss Yama's birthday party well tonight, am I right?" Hearing this, he withdrew the hand holding the card. "Okay, then listen to Director Liu." Inwardly, he silently assessed, "This bastard probably figured out the boss's extraordinary status, wants to curry favor." Consider him perceptive. Shouter had overheard the entire conversation between the two. Later, he stood on the rooftop calling Yuto, "Brother, quickly come to the rooftop of Othon Hotel to watch fireworks." Yuto on the other end sounded annoyed, saying, "Are you sick, Shouter? Watching fireworks in the middle of the night? If you like them, can't you buy several hundred boxes yourself?" Shouta's eyes were deep. "Brother Matsushima, let me tell you, you can skip other fireworks, but this one absolutely cannot be missed." "All right then, meet you on the rooftop." Then he turned to Director Eliu. "Arrangements settled." Director Liu replied, "Please wait, Brother Nijima." Mika arrived just then. She looked at Shinji. "Shinji, why did you bring sister here?" He smiled, replying, "Sister, did you forget what day it is today?" His statement was unclear, making Mika confused. "What day?" Just then, fireworks were shot up, displaying the numbers 12, 21, and 59. Mika asked again, "What is this?" Passers-by saw this and got excited. "Look, seems like someone is celebrating something. Oh my god, the numbers seem to be changing." Using fireworks to count down the hour, the number now was 12 hours 21 minutes and 0 seconds. Shinji put his hand in his pocket. Sister, after 12 o'clock is your birthday. You were born on December 21st, so this birthday party also starts 12 minutes and 21 seconds into tomorrow. Congratulations. Hearing this, Mika spoke up. Shinji, I appreciate your thought, but didn't I say there was no need to prepare? He scratched his head. Then sister misunderstood me. I can't be that romantic. All this was prepared by a mysterious person for sister. Hearing this, she asked confusedly, mysterious person? At the foot of the stairs, the scarred man held a bouquet of flowers, calling someone, boss. Next up is the drone light show. After the show, you can present the flowers and congratulate Miss Yamada. FUJI's voice came from the other end. Well done. After this, your bonus will be tripled. Hearing tripled, Scarface couldn't hide his glee 3 times. Thank you, boss. Right, about the operational costs this time, 1 million. The hotel didn't. Fuji cut him off sharply. What are you thinking? Just do your job well. I definitely won't treat you unfairly. Yes, boss, Scarface replied. A short while later, Fuji arrived at Scarface's location. What were you saying about the hotel costs earlier? Scarface said fearfully. I was saying. The hotel didn't give a discount. In fact, they charged an extra 500,000. Fuji smirked. Don't worry about such a small amount. Just do the job well, and everything else is easy. He took the bouquet from Scarface. It's almost time, let's go. Scarface was unhappy but had no right to object. Yes, boss, internally, he cursed, damn it. Don't blame me for taking this money to the club to find some young girls then. Meanwhile, Mika was still talking with Shinji, unaware someone was behind them. Shinji, who exactly prepared all this? He replied honestly, sis, I don't know who specifically, but let's just watch and see. Just then, FUJI spoke up from behind. Mika, happy birthday. She turned around. Mr. Fuji. You're here too. His expression softened. Is it really surprising that I'm here anyway? Never mind that for now. Just watch this, and you'll understand. The crowd below started murmuring again. Look, look, there are words now. This is what rich people do. The words Mika, happy birthday. I hope you're happy appeared in the sky. She looked up. This is, Shinji chimed in. Isn't that Mr. Fuji? Mr. Fuji, I have to say, you really put a lot of thought into this. Then, 2 more letters appeared. LYF, Shinji asked curiously. Why the extra letters LYF? Who is LYF? Hearing this, Fuji gritted his teeth, glaring furiously at Scarface. What is this? Scarface, did you even graduate elementary school? Can't you even spell? Terrified by the glare, Scarface stammered. No, boss. Could the hotel have made a mistake? Shouter, hiding in a corner, scratched his head, thinking, damn, why isn't the boss here yet? Guess I have to step up. He then dashed out, a rose held dramatically in his mouth. Miss Yamada, this is a small token from my boss. I hope you like it. Mika was confused. Your boss? He replied, yes, he's Yuto. She raised a hand to her mouth, pondering. Yuto, if it seems to match. Seeing Shouter, Scarface exploded. Damn it, who the hell are you, crashing the party? Hotel manager, get out here. Manager Liu hurried over. Sir, I've been right here. How may I assist you? Scarface angrily pointed at Shouter. Arthur Hotel. What is the meaning of this? Mr. Fuji is hosting a birthday party here. How could you let this riffraff in to disrupt it? Throw them out. Throw them all out. Manager Liu adopted a professional tone. A birthday party, sir? Since when were you the one hosting the birthday party here? Hearing this, the Scarface man flew into a rage, raising his fist. Damn it, are you trying to back out of the deal? Manager Liu put on an innocent expression. Sir, you mentioned cooperation. May I please see the contract, or perhaps proof of payment? Scarface was furious, but speechless. Damn, no wonder he didn't take the money. Shit, he was planning to screw me over from the start. Fuji finally spoke. Excuse me, I don't understand what you mean by not taking the money. Scarface, enraged, turned on Manager Liu. Fine, then let me ask you. If we didn't organize this birthday party, where did all this come from? Shouter cut in immediately. Didn't I just say? My boss arranged it. Are you deaf? Just then, Yuto arrived, yawning widely. Shouter, what crazy stunt are you pulling now? Can't even let a guy sleep at night. Seeing Yuto, Shouter immediately ran over. You're finally here. Sorry, Miss Yamada, my boss was exhausted from preparing today's party and was just resting for a bit. Fuji frowned seeing Yuto, thinking, it's this guy again. Mika blushed shyly. Yuto, I never expected he'd do so much for me. Fuji turned to manager Liu. The Athan Hotel is an international chain, isn't it? As a regional manager, causing such a big incident, aren't you afraid I'll report you to your headquarters? Manager Liu calmly replied, I see. Well, Mr. Matsushima here is actually the boss of Athan. You can report directly to him if you wish. Hearing this, I was even more furious. Is he the head of the entire Athan region? Manager Liu replied, of course not. Fuji let out a sigh of relief. Thought so. How could a major international group be run by someone like him? Manager Liu then clarified, what I mean is, Mr. Matsushima is the ultimate boss of the entire Athan group. Fuji froze, as if struck by lightning, then yelled, what? Yuto, still half asleep having just been dragged here, looked around bewildered, what's going on? Everyone gathered in one place. Fuji turned to Mika and said clearly, anyway, Mika, if you're willing to give me face, I plan to hold a separate birthday party for you, and we can discuss the cooperation at the same time. She replied softly, Mr. Fuji, there's no need for a separate birthday party. As for signing the contract, I still want to consider it carefully. He frowned and widened his eyes. Why? Haven't we discussed that project many times already? We all felt it was perfect. She looked displeased and looked at Shinji. We're not even considered partners yet, Mr. Fuji. To be honest, you arbitrarily helping my brother plan things makes me feel like you've overstepped. Shinji lowered his head in fear. I'm sorry, sister. Seeing his plan fail, Fuji gritted his teeth and cursed inwardly. Idiot. I knew he wouldn't be able to do anything. He said, my sincerity is very clear. If Miss Yamada doesn't accept, maybe I'll find a better partner. As he turned to leave, he said arrogantly, new energy is booming now. You can make money with your eyes closed. If your family isn't willing, I'll find another family. Let's go. He said that, but inwardly he was seething with jealousy. Seeing him leave, Shouter taunted him, giving him the middle finger. You think you're worthy of putting on airs in front of my brother? Right. Then he turned to Yuto. Brother, are you satisfied with what I did? He smiled. Was it your idea? Shouter gestured towards Director Liu. Not entirely. It's also thanks to Director Liu's cooperation. Director Liu raised his hand. Thank you, Brother Nijima, for the mention. Mika spoke up, interrupting their conversation. Yuto, I have something to say to you. Is it convenient? She took his hand and pulled him away. Let's go over there. Director Liu and Shouter whispered upon seeing this. Thanks to Brother Nijima's play. Shouter replied confidently, of course, my brother's charisma needs no further explanation. Let's go, let's go. Let's not get in the way here. Mika leaned her hands on the railing. Yuto, thank you for doing all this for me. It's very thoughtful, and I'm very touched, but I want to say there's no need to waste your efforts. He didn't understand, thinking, right, is this the nice guy card? She said sympathetically, although saying this might hurt you, I think it's better to be clear than to let you continue trying in vain. The Yamada family is in a time of reform and change. I can't be distracted by other things. He yawned and immediately agreed with her. Okay, I understand. Anything else? If not, I'm going back to sleep. He turned to leave and waved goodbye. All right, you should go back and rest early too. Seeing his calmness, she couldn't help but think, he's so calm. I understand, Yuto must be pretending not to care because he's too heartbroken. It seemed she had misunderstood his feelings. She felt a little melancholic, thinking to herself, it's good this way, at least he can let go of me. I won't think about these things anymore. On his way back, Yuto wondered, why do girls nowadays think everyone should like them? Isn't it just because they're a little pretty and have bigger breasts? While he was pondering, his phone rang. Sir, there's been progress on the company you wanted investigated. The report has been sent to your mailbox. Hearing this, he opened it and his eyes widened in surprise. There really is a problem. KWAI on the other end continued, "Sir, if you need more detailed information, please wait patiently for a week. You'll get everything you want." He replied, "Almost there. Stop investigating here." Yuto thought tiredly, "If I continue, I'll be chased for a nice guy card. I don't have that kind of hobby." The system then notified, "You have completed the stage mission." "My eyes are the ruler ability upgrade." He was on the phone when he saw a young woman hugging and kissing an old man ahead. "Baby, I'll go home first." Seeing him, she blushed slightly at the embarrassing scene, then said sharply, "What are you looking at?" He chose to appraise her bag instead of answering. "Aim a wallet, hun briefcase. The stitching at the edge is machine finished. The bottom of the wallet is thinly layered." Not bad for a fake. She was furious at the word fake. Fake. Then she threw the bag at the old man. "Go to hell, old man." He only realized after he spoke, "I'd never studied these things before. Why did I just say that?" Then the system sounded again. "The host will receive richer rewards for continuously completing missions." He thought, "Although I can't see the use of these system rewards, at least no amount of money can buy them. Not a loss, not a loss." Seeing that Yuto hadn't spoken, the person on the other end asked, "Sir, are we not investigating anymore?" He coughed awkwardly. "Investigate. We must investigate. I'm a kind and simple person. I can't stand to see girls being deceived." Mourinho came over and heard him, curiously asking, "Who can't you stand to see being deceived?" He was a little surprised to see her. "Mourinho, why are you here?" She was startled. "Brother Yuto." Her mood quickly dropped. "I was just dragged by my dad to drink tea. It was that kind of middle-aged men's gathering. I finally managed to escape." She quickly regained her cheerful expression. "There were beautiful fireworks there just now." "Do you know what happened?" He replied, "Yes, what happened?" "Speaking of which, where's your live stream?" She held up a camera. "I'm taking a break today. It's my material gathering day. By the way, Brother Yuto, where do you live? Can I go and have a look?" He sprayed hairspray and asked, "Now." It was getting darker. They walked up the stairs. He asked her, "I'm telling you, aren't you afraid of danger running around in this area in the middle of the night?" She replied playfully, "I said I'm gathering material." "You wouldn't do anything strange in front of the camera, would you, Brother Yuto?" He asked, "Are you live streaming?" She said, "No, just filming a vlog. This episode is titled The Super Rich Man's House. I'll release it when I'm short on views." She took his arm. "You have to cooperate with me then, Brother Yuto," he replied indifferently. At this moment, a noise came. Are you giving this grandmother a hard time?" These two men threatened Mrs. Shen fiercely. "This is the price. Sell or not, it's up to you. If not, just wait for your son to go to jail." He stepped forward and shouted, "What are you doing?" Seeing him, they left, leaving behind the words, "We'll give you one last day. Think it over carefully." He asked softly, "Mrs. Shen, what's wrong?" Late at night, after accidentally witnessing Mrs. Shen being threatened, Yuto invited her into his house to ask about the situation. Mourinho helped Mrs. Shen. "Come on, Grandma, sit down here." He smiled and handed her a glass of water. "Mrs. Shen, have some water. What happened?" She raised her hand, her face slightly polite, and said, "Thank you, Yuto, I'm fine. It's just that I can't rent this house to you anymore. I came here to tell you this. Yuto, I'll return the last month's rent and the deposit to you." At this moment, Yuto heard the system notification. "Scent of a great grievance. Detected the breath of a great grievance. The host will receive a random reward for rescuing the great grievance within the time limit." He seemed interested. Then, Yuto sat down and asked, "Mrs. Shen, why is that?" "I've gotten used to living here. I was even planning to add more money to buy this house back from you." Hearing him say that, Mrs. Shen smiled and replied, "Yuto, I'm very happy that you're doing so well." She looked over at Mourinho. "Your girlfriend is also very beautiful." The word startled her, and Mourinho thought to herself, "Girlfriend." Then, with a regretful expression, Mrs. Shen reached out her hand. "Unfortunately, there's no other way. I want to sell all the rooms. My son's company is in trouble, and he needs money urgently. Yuta just saw it. It's about me selling the house." Yuto didn't quite believe it and asked, "House?" "If you hadn't said that, I would have thought it was a robbery." She frowned, not refuting him. "It is a robbery." "I've checked, Yuto, although our Hongsong area is an old neighborhood, the average price of each house is over 1 million. I have more than 10 houses, so it should be at least 10 million. She recalled the debt collectors. "I need money urgently, so I only want to sell them for 4 million. She lowered her head and closed her eyes in resignation. "Forget it, a loss is a loss. I can't let my son go to jail, can you understand, Yuto?" He smiled, offering her a solution. "If that's the case, I'll buy them all. 15 million, Miss Shen. What do you think?" She was startled when she heard this, but it seemed she thought it was a joke, so she forced a smile. "Of course. If I can sell them to you, I'd agree even for a little less." Yuto didn't hesitate, picked up his phone and typed something, then said, "Ma'am, check your messages. See if the regular card you use to collect rent has received the notification." She held her phone, sweating. "Really there? 10,000, 100,000, million. Yuto, are you serious?" Looking at her doubtful eyes, he confirmed, "Why wouldn't I be? I wouldn't trick you in the middle of the night for no reason." Seeing his determination, she panicked. "Wait a minute, Yuto. I'll go back and get the papers for you now. We'll go through the transfer procedures tomorrow." He quickly stopped her. "We can't do it tomorrow, they're closed on weekends, ma'am." Mrs. Shen was excited. "Then Monday. We'll go do it Monday morning." He listened helplessly. "Mrs. Shen, you should go home and rest early too." He then stood up to leave. "I'll see you out." But Mrs. Shen turned around and said, "Why would you accompany an old woman like me instead of staying with your girlfriend? Go on, go on." Reaching the stairs, she looked back and winked. "No need to see me out. This old lady has money now. I'll call a car. If I meet a handsome young driver, I might even chat with him." Yuto didn't insist further and agreed, "Okay, be safe." After Mrs. Shen left, he and Mourinho returned to the room. He explained, although Mrs. Shen is a bit casual, the rental rooms are quite good. If anyone has an emergency and is short of money, she's willing to postpone the rent for a month. Mourinho listened, understanding. "So that's why, so, Mr. Yuto, you helped her." He replied, "It's not really helping. This is an old neighborhood. In the long run, at this price, I'm only gaining, not losing." She plopped down on the chair and stretched. "Speaking of which, the Hongsong area, why did I hear that name today?" She recalled the conversation between the two fans. "Let me tell you a secret. The city just decided on a new development area today." "Really? Where?" She put her hand on her forehead, closed her eyes, and said, "Where's the new development area they were talking about?" "I can't remember." She drifted off to sleep, not bothering to remember. He was surprised. "You can fall asleep here just like that. This girl is too bold." Yuto approached her, reached out his hand as if to do something, thinking to himself, "Fortunately, I'm an upright and kind person, otherwise the consequences would be unimaginable." Suddenly, he noticed, "What body wash are you using? It smells quite nice." Suddenly, Mourinho, who was sleeping, woke up with a start, stood up, and her head bumped against his chin. Yuto, startled, covered his chin and asked, "What are you doing?" Mourinho, confused, replied, "Did I just fall asleep?" Suddenly, she exclaimed, "I'm sorry, Mr. Yuto." He rubbed his chin and said, "Fortunately, nothing serious happened." "Don't let it happen again." She changed the subject. "It's getting late. I should go home." He agreed, "All right, I'll walk you to your car." But suddenly Mourinho said worriedly, "I think I lost my tourmaline." "Mr. Yuto, can you help me look for it?" He was puzzled. "Tourmaline? I didn't see you wearing one." She bent down to search under the chair, explaining, "I didn't wear it. I purposely brought it with me. It's a Paraiba tourmaline my mother gave me. If I lose it, she kill me." He joined the search, asking, "What does it look like?" Mourinho replied, "It's blue, very eye-catching." At that moment, he picked up a bracelet and asked, "Is it this?" Mourinho exclaimed joyfully, "Yes, that's it. That's great." She breathed a sigh of relief, wiping her sweat. "If I really lost it, I wouldn't know what to do." Yuto approached her, handing it to her, not forgetting to remind her, "Such a precious thing, and you keep it in your wallet." Let me put it on for you. Mourinho blushed, admitting frankly, actually, I don't really like wearing it, but when I go with my dad to formal occasions, I have to look presentable, so I usually bring it with me. Hearing this, he placed the bracelet in her hand and said, all right then, keep it safe anyway. She accepted it shyly. Thank you, Mr. Yuto. Then she ran off as if escaping, not forgetting to say goodbye. I'll be going now. He waved. Be careful on the stairs. Mourinho replied, I know. If I go back any later, I'll get scolded. After escaping from his room, she stood on the stairs, panting and thinking to herself, why do I unconsciously want to kiss him when I see Mr. Yuto getting close? Thinking of this, she shyly rubbed her cheeks. No? Mourinho, you're a streamer. How can you do that with a fan? Then she quickly countered, wait, that's not right. Mr. Yuto doesn't seem to be my fan. He usually doesn't watch my live streams. Realizing she was overthinking, she told herself, that's not okay either. How can a girl take the initiative in this kind of thing? Mourinho, you have to have some self-respect. Back to Yuto, he stood in the room, pondering, speaking of which, according to the system notification, that tourmaline might not be a real paraiba. Earlier, when he touched the bracelet, the system notified him, appetite, ice crack treatment. Thinking back, he stretched tiredly, forget it. There was no wrong soul breath notification. I'll ask her again next time. Yuto got into bed, rubbing his head. Finally, I can go to sleep. My warm little bed, but trouble came again. Manting knocked loudly outside the door. Yuto, open the door. I know you're in there. If you have the guts, open the door. He opened the door, puzzled. Sis, what are you doing here in the middle of the night? Manting reminded him. Didn't we agree to go shopping for gifts together this weekend? Have you forgotten? He yawned and replied, what time is it? Let me ask you, is there any shopping mall open in the middle of the night? Manting crossed her arms, unconcerned. What's there to be afraid of? 0 o'clock is still the weekend anyway. You have to stay with me. Suddenly, she looked around, making him confused. What are you doing again? She turned and replied, good. You're not hiding anyone in your house. Otherwise, your consequences would be severe. Yuto turned away. Whatever, I'm going to sleep. Wait a minute. Manting ran over and grabbed his hand. Wait for me to make you a love supper. We'll eat and then go back to sleep. A moment later, a hot pan was placed on the stove. Yuto asked impatiently, it's been 2 hours. Is this your love supper? Manting struggled to crack an egg into the pan, replying, it must be the wrong pasture. Let me try again. Unable to watch any longer, he approached the stove. All right. Let me do it, or you'll blow up my kitchen. She could only chuckle. Go to the living room and wait. She picked up his shirt and sniffed it, then silently speculated. There's no scent of another woman on him, but there is here. It shows slow progress, but I can't be careless. A moment later, 2 bowls of egg noodles were brought out. He sat down at the table and said, eat your noodles. She excitedly praised, it smells so good. After taking the first bite, she laughed happily. It's been so long since I've had noodles cooked by you. I wanted to eat some as soon as I got off work. Hearing this, Yuto laughed. So that's your real purpose. You said you'd make it for me, but you actually forced me to do it. Who told you to still be the same as before, so easy to bully? Hurry up and eat. After eating, we'll exercise together, otherwise it'll be hard to digest. He blushed awkwardly. There's no need for that in the middle of the night. She leaned close to his face, sticking out her tongue and licking her lips. I must make you so tired you collapse. In the quiet of the night at Yuto's house, Manting's voice rang out. Yuto, I can't do it anymore. I really can't. In the room, the 2 of them were doing push-ups. Seeing that he had already done 177, she was surprised. How can you still do it? He jumped to his feet. Didn't you say we can only stop when both of us say stop? Keep going, thinking about your duty. With such a weak body, how can you protect others? You're still dozens behind me. Wait until you're done, and we'll continue. She trembled, helpless. Damn it, you secretly got so much stronger while I wasn't here. It's this late already. The mall should be open now. All right, Get up, shower, and change your clothes. Let's go buy gifts. Manting's face was covered in sweat. She sighed. If I had known, I would have rather stayed and worked overtime. The two then strode through the mall. He turned to ask her, have you decided what to give your uncle yet? She replied, yes, a saxophone. Yuto was a little surprised by the gift. A saxophone. Why didn't I know your uncle knew how to play that? She explained, not really, he just plays for fun. You don't know, he's retired now, he just stays at home and does odd jobs every day. Passing by a store, she pointed and said, there seems to be a musical instrument store over there, let's go take a look. Seeing customers early in the morning, the staff member ran over enthusiastically. Welcome. What are you looking for? Manting spoke up and asked, do you have saxophones? The staff member nodded immediately. Of course, please follow me. Arriving at the saxophone display, the staff member turned and asked, what range of saxophone are you looking for? We're currently out of stock of the high-pitched ones. Manting pondered for a moment with her chin in her hand and then replied, mid-low range, he likes classical music. Hearing this, the staff member immediately understood. She took one out and introduced, if that's the case, I recommend this Kasani, purely handcrafted, the technology and sound quality are impeccable. She proudly added, this is the last one in our store. Because it's purely handcrafted, it might take a few years for the next batch to arrive. I don't really understand this, but it looks good. Okay, we'll take this one. Happy to have secured a good order early in the morning, the staff member cheerfully replied, yes, ma'am, I'll go print the receipt for you. Just then, a woman walked in. I heard there's a very expensive saxophone, get me one. The staff member nervously rushed over, ma'am, are you looking for the Kasani? I'm very sorry, this young lady just paid for it. Hearing this, the woman cleared her throat. Sold? She reached into her chest, took out a black card, and ordered, do you know what this card is? It's a Henderson Mall Black VIP card, cancel her order and sell it to me. The staff member was in a difficult position, waving her hands. I'm very sorry, ma'am. This is against store policy. The woman suddenly slapped the staff member. She cleared her throat and yelled, policy? What policy? I spend millions here every year just to follow your policies. Do you have a brain? Seeing this, Manting stepped forward and spoke up. I'm warning you, deliberately causing trouble is illegal. Glancing at the staff member with a threatening look, the woman retorted arrogantly, what trouble am I causing? Ask her if anything happened here. Just then, the manager also rushed over. I'm so sorry, Ms. Liu. It was our staff member's fault. He turned to the staff member and criticized, he Shaowon? Did you drink water instead of using your brain? Apologize to Ms. Liu immediately. The woman, hearing this, winked and asked the manager, do you know me? The manager said solemnly, of course, Ms. Liu, although you've never shopped at our store, legends about you are everywhere in Henderson. It's our honor that you could come today. The woman became even more arrogant upon hearing this. Good that you know. Fire this girl immediately, then let these two poor devils sell me the saxophone. Manting couldn't help but feel annoyed witnessing this scene. I say, you're going to fire? She was about to step forward when Yuto grabbed her hand. It's okay. He looked at her and softly said, step aside, leave this to me. She watched him confront the woman, her heart filled with confusion. What is he trying to do? As soon as Yuto stepped forward, the woman pointed at his face and yelled, what are you doing? A loser wants to show off here. Do you know your place? He calmly replied, excuse me, have you been constipated lately? The woman's face turned pale as she replied, how did you know? No, wait, what's it to you? Let me tell you, be smart and hand over the saxophone. I'll give you 2,000 as a fee. Think carefully, 2,000 is enough for a month's salary for you poor devils. Unprovoked by her words, he grimaced and replied, of course it's none of my business. It's just that your excrement is stuck in your stomach, and the smell is coming back up. No wonder your mouth is so foul. The woman gritted her teeth, stung by his words. She furiously raised her hand to slap him. You dare speak again? Before her hand could reach him, he grabbed it. He glared at her. That's exactly what I wanted you to do. Throwing her to the ground, he said coldly, Get away from me. I'm afraid of getting dirty. Unable to do anything, she became even angrier. How dare you? She pointed at him and started making a scene. Somebody. Are all the Henderson people dead? Get this poor man out of here. Old XING, come here quickly. The manager didn't dare to intervene. He could only shout from the sidelines, Ms. Liu, please wait. I'll go find someone right away. A man walked in and asked, what's wrong? What happened, baby? The woman cried when she saw the man. Old XING, where were you? I wanted to buy a saxophone for Xiaohui, but this poor guy not only refused to give it to me, he also pushed me down. The man stroked her head, comforting her. It's okay, baby. He walked towards Yuto, threatening him. Let me tell you, if anything happens to my baby, even chopping you up won't be enough to compensate. Yuto calmly replied, I'm the one who's going to get hurt. Someone like her, seeing a handsome guy like me, would just come up and harass me. Looking at you like this, I know she usually doesn't eat well, but she's not that desperate, is she? The old man, hearing the sarcasm, gritted his teeth. What did you say? The woman suddenly clutched her stomach and called out, Mr. XING. He interrupted. Don't worry, baby. I'll definitely avenge you. Her face turned pale. Clutching her stomach tightly, she explained, No. My stomach hurts so much. It hurts terribly. The old man, confused, asked, Honey, what's wrong with you? Was it because that bastard pushed you? She awkwardly explained, It's the kind of stomach ache that makes you desperately need to go to the bathroom. My stomach is bloated, and my legs are weak. Yuto coldly added, Looks like you have to let her go relieve herself first. The old man didn't forget to remind, If you have the guts, don't go. I'll deal with you later. Ignoring them, he looked up at the system and thought to himself, I didn't expect the system's reward this time to be this. Completed the mission to rescue Mrs. Shen, the great suffering seed, reward received, sacred hand of traditional medicine, life-saving and injury-mending. He looked at the light on him, smirking, just in time to test it on her. Hurriedly taking her to the toilet, the old man anxiously reassured her, Baby, bear with it a little longer. I'll take you there. Her face turned green, shaking her head. No, Mr. XING, I can't hold it anymore. Just then, the manager ran over with someone. Ms. Liu, don't be afraid. I'm still protecting you. I'll help you. What a nuisance while I'm trying to poop. The two of them looked annoyed when they saw who had arrived. Recognizing her, the people nearby gathered and gossiped. Look at them. I heard that Ms. Liu was being harassed. Who's the blind one? How dare they provoke our Ms. Liu? Go gossip. Seeing her whole body trembling, the old man panicked. Hey, you're not going to poop here, are you? Hold it in a little longer. She replied urgently, I can't. As soon as she finished speaking, a stream of green gas and a loud sound erupted from her anus. Witnessing this scene, everyone froze, immediately covering their noses. She was mortified and could only cling to the old man's hand and plead, Mr. XING. He was also embarrassed and quickly shook her hand off. He yelled, Get away, I don't know you. Don't come near me, damn it, it stinks to death. Yuto and Manting had already moved 100 meters away. She covered her nose and said, That's too cruel. Yuto shook his head slightly. Who knew these rich people played like that? He looked at the woman, sarcastically. The legend of change, right? I wasn't sure before, but now I'm sure it's true. Back to the trumpet shop. After witnessing the pooping scene, the manager changed his tune. Good, that way, there won't be any Ms. Liu anymore. Just pretend nothing happened. Next time, be careful who you mess with. If something like this happens again, I don't know how to clean it up. I know, Manager Chen, Mr. Li eyes on the phone. The staff member suddenly startled. Right, where's the trumpet? The manager happily answered the phone. Mr. Lei, what can I do for you? The yelling from the phone made him turn pale. Chen Pingen. What the hell did you do to me again? I'll give you 5 minutes. Get out of here in a minute. He didn't understand and asked, What's going on? Mr. Lei, what happened? Is it because of Ms. Liu? Mr. Lei, hearing this, shouted, I don't know any Ms. Liu. I'm telling you, You've messed with the boss's boss? Right, Mr. Lei, can you be a little more specific? Mr. Lei became even angrier, shouting, You don't even understand this. All right, get out of here. Go die wherever you want. Turning to Yuto, the trumpet was already in his hand. Right, your trumpet. Manting was puzzled when she saw him holding it. Where did you get it? Did you pay for it? Don't tell me you stole it. He replied calmly, I haven't paid, or do you want to arrest me? She said seriously, Stop talking nonsense. How much is it? I'll transfer it to you. He chuckled and waved his hand. No need. I have a friend who knows someone here. I called and they said it's a gift for you. He took out his phone and called Shouter. Is Henderson your brand in Southern District? Do you know them? Shouter answered the phone and replied, Henderson. It belongs to a junior of mine. Just tell me what you need, sir. Manting admired the trumpet in her hand. She turned around, gratefully. Speaking of which, you didn't let me go up just now. Were you trying to protect my image? Yuto looked dumbfounded. Protect what image of yours? You're overthinking it. Think about it. If there was a conflict, and someone filmed it and netizens found out I'm a police officer, wouldn't I be screwed? Not only would reason become unreasonable, but it would also easily tarnish the profession. She suddenly moved closer to him. You thought of this, didn't you, Yuto? He still pretended to be naive and replied, Before I could even be knocked down by the other party, I would have been handcuffed by you first. That's very likely. No more talking. Where are we going later? It's rare for us to have a date. Interrupting her, Yuto received a call. Manager Wong, you said the hotel was reported. I'm sorry, Manting. I have something to take care of now. Remember to call me for your uncle's 60th birthday. She smiled and nodded. All right then. Yuto then hurried off. She watched him go and muttered to herself, Although I will arrest you, before that, I will advance with you. Because I promised, even if I'm not in my police uniform, I won't let anyone hurt you. Going back to the hotel, drops of blood are flowing into the bathtub. Why did it become like this? Why, a woman seeing this scene takes the knife beside her. If this world can no longer contain me, then I don't want to live anymore. Then she intends to end her life, but at that moment, a female employee comes over. Hello, room service. But as soon as she enters the room, an unpleasant smell comes from inside. What's that smell? That's strange. When she opened it, she saw the woman holding the knife in her hand. A scream echoed from the hotel. What happened? Did someone die? Yuto asked manager Yu. No, that guest has a very serious skin disease. Her whole body is full of sores, so she cut herself with a knife, and now she has been taken to the hospital. Luckily her life is not in danger. A group of people come from afar. Because your hotel is too dirty. My wife has a face like a flower. It was because she stayed in this hotel that she got a skin disease. Now she doesn't want to live anymore. What kind of evil hotel are you? Then a crowd of people from nowhere raised signs that were already prepared. Protest against the evil hotel, murder hotel. Manager Liu came to explain to Mr. Matsushima, our hygiene procedures and standards here are very strict, so this kind of thing cannot happen. They clearly want to cause trouble. I know, you just do your job normally. Sir, we support any professional inspection organization to come here. If we find that the environment of our room is the cause of your wife's illness, then the treatment fees until the end will be paid by us. I don't care about these things, what kind of assessment or not assessment. If you don't compensate me, I will bring people here to make noise every day. So sir, how would you like to be compensated? This guy immediately raised his hand. 5,000. You mean 5,000? Yes, 5,000. Transfer it to me from your personal account. Don't use public funds to avoid being accused of extortion. I will transfer it to you. But at this time, Yuto came out to stop him. Wait. It's okay, Mr. Matsushima. These people just want to take advantage of us. 5,000 to deal with a group of thugs is considered cheap. Manager Liu quickly showed the man the successful transfer information. Sir, now that we have reached an agreement, you know what to do. Otherwise, I will call the police next time, don't worry. Now that I've got the money, I promise I won't bother you again, let's go. But Yuto always had a question. Mobilizing so many people just for 5,000? I think something is not right. The man hurriedly ran outside. At this time, he met an acquaintance again. Is that him? I saw you were busy just now. Do you have time to talk business now? The Scarface man said. Yuto smiled as if he understood the scheme. What do you want to talk about? Mr. FUJR really likes this hotel. How about 5 million? That's ridiculous. 5 million can't even buy the lobby. Security, drag these people out for me, the manager said. But the Scarface man took out a bag of flour. Do you recognize this? If you don't sell, I will report that your hotel is suspected of drug trafficking. Take a look at the information. The evaluation starts analyzing fake and genuine serious prohibited substances with a purity of up to 89.7%. It's the real thing, Yuto thought to himself. Are you crazy? Aren't you afraid of me calling the police? Yuto said. Go ahead and report it. I'm afraid you won't dare to report it. When the police arrive, I will say that I am the seller and you are helping me store and sell it. Manager Liu is a witness. He received a bribe of 5,000 from me. You're a psycho. You can say whatever you want. You don't even have my account number. At this moment, the manager's bank account also received a transfer of 5,000. What else do you have to say now? The evidence is all here. Yuto finally understood the whole story. It turned out it was because of this. The Scarface man continued to provoke Yuto. You made our Mr. FUJI suffer, and you don't want to pay the price. Don't worry, with this amount of grams, you won't be sentenced to death, at most 12 years. As for you, this hotel will definitely not be able to open again. If it really doesn't work, Mr. Fuji still has a way. Today is skin infection. Tomorrow will someone come to commit suicide? But Yuto suddenly smiled evilly, smiling back at him. What are you laughing at? You're such an idiot. I thought there would be someone else causing trouble. Then Yuto used his speed to snatch the bag of flour from his hand. Purity of 90% is not even as good as garbage, and you still want to buy our hotel? How do you know? The Scarface man said. I've never used this stuff before, so I had to go through some connections to get a small bag. The Scarface man thought to himself. Do you think I could become the general manager of Arthur at such a young age based on what? Do you think where does the largest supply channel for this kind of transaction come from? You mean, Manager Liu, take him to my wine room, let him see what high-quality goods are like. I know, but even this manager doesn't understand what his wine room is. The Scarface man was shocked at this time. Could it be that I have met a real big shot?